Oh fellas, oh fellas, oh fellas, oh fellas, oh ofa, oh fellas, oh fellas, oh fellas, oh fellas, ofa, oh some fellas here and some fellas are there. Papa Gut has boobies and is queer. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. You know, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Papa Gut. You don't know if the man is doing any of this on purpose. Yeah, it's a rough one. But I hope to give you some context. Why am I hearing myself? Am I booming? I might be booming, baby. Okay. So, my little fellerinis. Papa Gut. And now you're used to someone being disingenuous, right? I'm telling you, man, the fellas. Adam Peony for $10. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Put it in a chicken and make it gay. Yeah. Yeah. If you don't know what that means, you could figure it out. It's pretty easy to figure it out. Very much appreciated. Very good callback. Okay. Let's dip our toe a little bit. What do you say? So, I was watching Made by Jim Bob's 30K sub stream. And he was getting more live viewers than Papa Gut was while he was talking to Andrew Wilson. Isn't that weird? Jim Bob has 30,000 subs now, and he had 548 live when he was watching Papa Gut talk to Andrew Wilson. Papa Gut had 451 watch, and I was like, whoa, that's odd. Papa Gut's got 100,000 subs. That's strange. Remember with Biden, the voting irregularities? Well, my autism is really focused on content creation irregularities. Okay? So I says to X, I says, more people are watching Jim Bob watch the debate than Papa Gut's own audience. Papa Gut has over 3 times the subs as Jim Bob. They got subs from the COVID era, but they can't keep the engagement. The pendulum is violently swinging in the other direction. To which someone said, I hope you realize that Papa Gut's viewership went up past the 910s, so chill out. Past the 910s. What are we, 7? And we're saying we're 7 3/4? Past the 910s? The man should be getting over 1,000 live viewers consistently, okay? That's a little irregular. So I says to him, I hope you realize he has 100,000 subs and can't even hit 1,000 live viewers when Andrew Wilson is on. Think about that, too. He's talking to Andrew Wilson. You think that would pump up the live viewers a little bit. Channels with half the subs regularly get over 1,000K live. We would, Adam and Sitch easily get over 1,000 live. You wouldn't know engagement metrics if it came all over your mother in front of you. Tell me to chill out again. Now, I really enjoy going extra when someone tells me to chill out, okay? See, it's going to be hard for me to be a Christian, fellas, okay? I like to go hard at these lefties. I know what they're like. I know what they're like behind the scenes. Now, Papa Gut's engagement is very interesting. He's gained 1,000 subs in the past month. That's good. Over 1 million views in the last 30 days. 1.2, rounding up to 1.3 million views in the past 30 days. Why, that's pretty good. It's like roughly $5 per 1,000 views on ad revenue for YouTube. Roughly. It's like $60K a year just with the ad revenue. That's pretty good. Or is it? It's kind of strange. Because I'll tell you what's strange. When he gets 22,000 views, okay, he somehow gets 184 comments. 22,000 views, 184 comments. And why is that strange? When I get 4.3 thousand views on a video, I get 211 comments. Why, that's an irregularity, wouldn't we say? Even Jim... Oh, wait a minute. Even Jim Bob over here gets 7,000 views on a video and gets 560 comments. Over 1 million views a month, and it's looking like he has low live viewers. It's just odd. His engagement is pretty low, wouldn't we say, fellas? I don't know what that means, okay? I just think it's pretty strange. Now, is he live right now? Let me see if he's live right now. He actually is live right now.
Too,
sure, he's
you know that whole saying like
dialing down the stream.
To be,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So that's
how long has he
been
been going for?
Why run my mouth?
That's a 4.5-hour stream. All right, down to 115. No, I'm sorry, that's the likes. 350. Okay, we'll see if we can crack that. I'm a smaller channel. We'll see though. He has 100,000 subscribers. That is incredible. Irregularities, folks. A lot of irregularities going on. So where do we start? I mean, I was going to show you this. This is from earlier. This is when he was 1 hour and 40 minutes into the stream, and it's at 370. So the man is averaging, what, under 400 live with 100,000 live viewers? I just think that's strange. Seems like he has a lot of engagement, but he really doesn't have in the comment department and in the live viewer department, not a lot. Very strange indeed. So we're going to start this off. You know what? I can't wait. I can't help myself. He uploaded this. He has a wife, just so you know, okay? Now, I'm not in the business of making fun of someone's wife, okay? It's not why I'm here. It's not what I do. But this man is very antagonistic. And in the commentary community, well, when you upload something, people are allowed to comment on it. And he thought this was going to be like a podcast. He stopped doing this 6 or 7 months ago, and you're going to see why right now. However, oh, hello! Radio Guy 20 for 10 gifted Hard R memberships. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, fellas. What you're going to want to watch, actually, you just pop her on screen for the new fellas. Actually, no, it's fine. I post lore videos of what I sounded like in 2017, 2018, 2019. All right, I'm very vulnerable. Okay, it's the liberal in me. So I have a conversation from 2019 where I talk to two black fellows and I say the N-word and I talk about the N-word. You're going to want to watch that behind the paywall. Times have changed, but Artie has not. Sport Nugget became a YouTube member. Thank you very much. I've been a member for too long. Absolutely, friend. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy Lord. So, Papa Gut, okay, actually, very quickly, to even call him bad faith is just silly at this point, okay? I'm going to prime you pretty good for this, okay? Before I make fun of somebody, I like to show you how bad of a person they are, right? Well, it justifies the verbal thrashing. So, of course, after this, and of course the entire time during their debate, Papa Gut's acting like, oh, I'm a nice guy, and I'm just trying to have a discussion. I just want to have a discussion with the guy. You know, I'm not trying to debate. He just talks all this shit. After the debate, Andrew Wilson desperately wished there was a pill to remove his closeted fantasies, always implying something, but not quite saying it, okay? Always implying something about Andrew Wilson, sometimes straight up saying it. And then, of course, walking it back when he goes to talk to Andrew Wilson. So in the spirit of that, let's just imply some things, you know, plausible deniability. This is the game that he likes to play. And let's go ahead with it. See what their relationship is like. Imagine being married to Papa Gut. What kind of woman would be married to Papa Gut? Think to yourself, fellas in chat, what do you think she's like? Okay? We don't have to comment on her looks. I'll do that! What do you think she's like? Because he'll talk about talking to his wife, right? Bouncing things off of her. He probably bounces right off of her. Let's get into it.
Boo doo boo boo boo. Ba ba
That's so
ba.
mean. Somebody said
What
Jeff
you
Uber
won't
guy's
do.
car suspension.
What?
So-
We're live. Just in case nobody told you we're live right now.
You do for love. You tried everything, and you won't give up.
He thought this was
Do you
going to
like
be
the song
some
I'm
sort
thinking
of
I actually made
show
that myself.
that they did actively.
She says, "This is so good.
This is the last one they did.
I really like this song. All right, I love you.
Now we have a guess. Bitter and controlling. Excellent guess. Worse. Somehow worse than that. Here's the show.
My wife doesn't love me. She's ignoring me right now, and that's
Looking
okay.
for comments making fun of me.
I'm looking for comments making fun of me. Sweetie. Rock monster from the Neverending Story. Listen to me. You're not going to want to look like that and look through. Just be in the moment, okay?
Why? On what? On what page? On what page are you looking for comments making fun of you? What's up,
Where?
guys? You look beautiful, baby.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, babe.
see
My
this.
wife looks. What does that matter?
When I look up there, I see this.
What do you want me to do about it? Don't look at it. Hey, everybody, how are you?
Okay. I just want to know if this relationship is legal, okay? I want to know if she's capable of consenting to anything, and if there is any laws that would prevent this marriage from happening, because I'm not sure of her faculties, okay?
My wife's being super cool tonight. You like that?
Oh boy.
No.
I love you so much. We should have taken. We
Tired
should
now
have
that we
taken.
started.
What's going on, guys? My wife is tired now that we started. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of my wife?
So what you're going to learn about Papa Gut is he is very, very avoidant, and he can't. It's kind of like what I've said about James Lindsay, where he doesn't have a voice in his head that filters things before it comes out of his mouth. There's no internal monologue, right? So Papa Gut is continually not thinking of anything and just repeating things that he's heard in politics, okay? Look at this interaction.
I'm being tired now that we started. What do you think? This is
Hello.
It is a little late, but that's okay. We're just getting our bearings in.
Will you help me put the food away and make lunch
We're
and
just
pack
getting
my
our
clothes for
bearings in.
tomorrow when we go
Of
upstairs?
course,
So We've seen her kind of stare off into the distance, alarmingly so. Kind of raises a flag there. And then it seems like he's like her caregiver. It kind of seems like he's her caregiver. Listen to this.
Earrings in.
Will you help me put the food away and make lunch
We're
and
just
pack
getting
my
our
clothes for
bearings in.
tomorrow when we go upstairs?
Of course, my beautiful girl.
Okay, he has to help her do things that an adult woman should be able to do. So I just want to know the legality of this marriage. Very curious. I don't know if this is allowed to happen. I don't know if anyone's commented on this. Let's keep going.
Promise?
Yes, I promise. We're just getting our bearings in.
Should I shower tonight or in the morning? Maybe I'll take a rinse in the morning.
Maybe I'll take a rinse in the morning. Now, if somebody was mentally handicapped and you were streaming with them, they might say something like, I might take a rinse in the morning. Possibly. I don't know. I'm not married to a mentally challenged person. I'm not saying she is, okay? We're doing Papa Gut style. Plausible deniability, okay? I don't know. Interesting. You're going to hear interesting a lot. Interesting.
All right. Yeah, do your thing.
I took a shower today.
Very
Did you
good.
take a shower
You did.
today?
I did. I did take a
I
shower.
washed my hair. It came out pretty good.
Yeah, I literally combed your hair for you, brushed your hair for you.
He also, okay, let's recap. She stares off into the distance. Not very responsive. He has to pack her lunch, pack her food. And he brushes her hair for her. Is it legal? I don't know.
Know that you showered.
Thanks.
Brush your hair all the time because I love you. How's everybody doing? It is late for us, but that's okay. We're getting our bearings. I think if we keep up.
We're getting her bearings. Dude. I don't know if you're allowed to be with your wife, dude. I don't know how else to explain it to you. Isaac for $20. Oh, I'm riding solo. Hold on. Very much appreciated. Bruh, she is the definition of whale. Totally not legal, by the way. Well, to be honest, they are together, not two whales, but the definition of a galaxy. They're big people, and it's fine if people are big people. That's fine. I'm really talking about, is she all there? Is anyone behind the wheel? Whoa! Really? Really, dude? Wow. And that means we have a Chad of the Chad.
Now the Chad does what the Chad wants, and no one is stopping him because Chad does what Chad wants.
I know I'm the YouTube monarch, but those rules are ordained. That is now the Chad of the Chat. Unbelievably generous of you. Thank you so much. I didn't even show any leg for you yet. You already give me money? You're crazy. Okay.
Up with this. We'll be very successful.
Today,
Yeah.
I was with my Grammy,
That's her grandmother for people.
and we went out to dinner with her Friday night,
Mhm.
and she was like,
Today I was with my Grammy and we went out to dinner with her Friday night. That's how someone who needs a caregiver speaks. That's all I'm saying, fellas.
she was telling me that she feels bad because I took her shopping today for shoes.
Yeah.
She was telling me she feels bad for taking me away from my husband on the weekend. or
As she
whatever.
should. As she should. Anyway, continue.
And then she was like, "Oh, that was fun the other night." She's like, "And Dan, he's so sweet." And then she's like, "I just wish he would cut that beard."
What can I say?
And then I was like, "No, I
can I
like the
say?
beard." And then I showed her the pictures of when you cut off your fucking beard for
Yeah.
our trip to Disney and the
Pedophile
wedding.
Pictures, yep.
And I was like, "You like this better?" And you're handsome all the time, but I like your big beard.
I appreciate that.
Because I was like, I like the big beard. It makes him look like a man.
yeah, like a man.
And she was like, "But that's why she likes your small little beard because it makes you look like a young sweet boy." She said.
That's why she likes your small little beard. Interesting feedback. I can't believe this is the last episode they did. It's enthralling. Let's keep going.
That's so funny.
Isn't that so cute?
That is cute. That is so cute.
My Grammy likes you.
Yeah, everybody in your family likes me. I think it's because everybody in your
Okay, fellas. Are you ready for this? Oh, wow. Sorry. You're right. Arden Party is absolutely right. $2. Best mod in the game, and I treat him like dirt, apparently. My bad, dude. Genuinely sorry. And I rarely apologize. Arden Party. Arden plays in 90 for Moonraker Live. Like stream. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Riding solo. Got a couple of blobs in front of me. Didn't mean no harm by it. You deserve what you tolerate, $5. Is this upstairs or downstairs in their home? If upstairs, I hope they reinforce concrete for their floors. They do it. They do it. In case you guys didn't know, I don't know if she can consent. Possibly there needs to be an investigation. Theodore McCarthy, $5. Thank you. The answer to is she all there is always no because of the she component. Wow. Wow. That is rude, and I like it. Isaac for $10. Thank you so much. Well, with that saying you are beautiful, she will probably divorce in a few years. I don't know. I don't know. You know, fellas, religious fellas, there's one person for everyone in the world, right? Now, that in mind, there's one person for everyone. Now, listen to what he's about to say to her and watch her reaction to it. And let me know if I've been crossing the line with my criticism and feedback so far.
So cute.
That is cute. That is so cute.
My Grammy likes you.
Yeah, everybody in your family likes me. I think it's because everybody in all the women in your family have been abused. So it's like really, it's basically a clean sweep for me.
Bro.
It's like literally, this is the thing about dating abused women. They are fucked.
Okay. All the women in her family have been abused, so it sounds like including her. Possible grooming? I don't know. Interesting. 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 Very interesting. I'll have to think about that.
Basically a clean sweep for me.
Bro.
It's like literally, this is the thing about dating abused women. They are fucking crazy, right? But brownie points for breathing, because like all you have to do is not beat them as hard as their their abuser, and you're fucking golden, right?
All right, but listen to this.
Look at that.
I told you.
She fist bumped that. That's insane.
That
Now, if it was difficult to see on screen just then, that was the words bouncing off of her skull. All right. Look at his face right now.
when I was growing up, whenever we would watch Animal Planet or whatever, if there was like a gorilla or a hippo or an elephant or anything, my papa would always be like, "Oh, look."
Oh, Lord. So let's start to get into it.
Seems like a very fast relationship.
So during their debate, he's going to keep saying things are interesting. He's going to act unbelievably disingenuous. He's somehow going to believe that he's being genuine, possibly, maybe, I don't know. But I was going to edit this into a video, and I'm like, I had to do a stream. I had to do a stream. It's too much. It's too heavy. It's weighing down my screen. And so before we dive into it, let me give you a short overview of what you're going to hear from this very good faith person.
Interesting. Seems like a very fast relationship. That's interesting. I'll have to think about that one. I think you actually think that, which is the most interesting. I think that's the most interesting part of this conversation is like understanding who you are as a person. Interesting. Is that interesting?
He make other gods that are more powerful?
Well, he did though, right? Because God did create the concepts of like Thor and Odin and all these other gods from different religions.
Can he make gods that are more powerful than him?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. That's interesting.
Interesting.
I've never considered that before. Personally, I would think that's blasphemous to even consider something like that. But that's an interesting thought experiment.
I don't know.
Okay, that's what you wanted to say. Okay, fair enough. Okay.
And I wanted you to give.
And now we got the okay. We got interesting. Interesting. And then he's like, okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Constantly.
An accounting for them.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Exact quote from your video. Now, they're distinct ideologies.
Okay.
The purpose of feminism is to deconstruct patriarchal systems.
Okay.
Because they consider them an oppressor class.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you're saying that I'm lying to try to make people hate you in my audience?
Yeah.
Oh, is it possible that maybe I'm a little stupid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it possible that maybe I'm just a little stupid? Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair game.
Okay. So
we'd have to leave it up to a conversation.
And so now one of our favorite things to do when you're on the left is have a conversation about a conversation. Okay.
conversation about it. And so far,
we're
America,
having a
the
conversation about it.
Has not been going in your
literally
favor.
having a conversation about the thing you say we should be talking about.
Yeah,
so
let's talk
I don't
about
even
why it's wrong to
understand
be gay. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, what would make your position moral and mine immoral? What?
We'd have to have a conversation about it, and we'd have to lay out the facts. I think you're a very
We
fact-driven
are
person,
having,
so I think
we
that we
are
could
having
probably
a conversation
do that.
about it. We're
Yeah,
having a
yeah.
Why do you
What's
keep
a beautiful
telling me that
thing?
we need to have a conversation about a thing we're having a conversation about? That's fine. We just need to have a conversation about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've been doing for the entirety of our societies, having conversations and then moving forward and changing.
You're right. We should have a conversation about if society should have conversations.
I think that's beautiful. Yeah, I like that.
Let's have a conversation
I think
about it.
that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's how our entire foundation of our society has been structured, right? I mean, we are constantly having conversations.
I'm not sure. I think we need to have a conversation about that.
Okay. When do you want to have that conversation?
I mean, I thought we were going to, but maybe we should have a conversation about when we can have a conversation about things.
Maybe we should take it a step further and have a conversation.
Yeah, and can we have a conversation about having conversations about conversations?
Yeah. I think so. We can take it even a step further.
See, I thought during a conversation, instead of saying we should have a conversation about the thing we're having a conversation about, you would actually answer the fucking questions I'm asking you.
Okay. Now, what you may not have seen, and since the fellas are so kind to me, why would I not go behind his paywall? Okay. So this is after the debate. This is his interpretation of it.
Right. Interesting stuff. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of I think a brief moment where I had no audio, so I'm going to have August figure that out. But overall, let me tell you, that was an interesting conversation.
Interesting.
That was interesting.
Oh, okay.
That was interesting.
Totally interesting, dude. Yeah.
I don't think that was terrible. Listen, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I'm going to have to process that information. That was an interesting conversation.
Dude.
He called me a slur. What did he call me, retarded or something?
Can you believe his engagement is so low?
I think that's all right. Interesting conversation.
Oh, my word.
Okay.
My Lord and Taylor.
Okay. Well, I can understand why there are people who don't want to have a conversation with that guy because he's a little bit dishonest. I will say there was a moment.
Okay. Right. One more quick thing. Now, when he says dishonest, okay. I really really dived into a hole by calling him out saying, okay. So, originally in the video that Andrew Wilson is critiquing, it's a 5-hour video. I'd like to let you know that this has 9,800 views and 93 comments. The engagement is not with him, fellas. That is an anomaly. Again, an irregularity, an anomaly. Now, I don't know if he's doing any of this on purpose. So he's like a moderate liberal, okay? He's not crazy like a communist, like a Son Piker. No. He just like calls people white supremacists. He's like culturally communist, but not fiscally communist, essentially. He's a progressive. Get a load of this.
Funny to me. This guy's talking about terminally online people criticizing Charlie Kirk's death and acting like it's like a huge. These people aren't real. Okay, these people are like online and anonymous fucking morons, right? Like you shouldn't be mocking Charlie Kirk's death. You shouldn't let people whitewash him. He was a white supremacist piece of shit.
Interesting. Very moderate left opinion. Not a crazy leftist. Interesting. Interesting. Now, Charlie Kirk's a white supremacist, but is Joe Rogan and Andrew Wilson white supremacists?
Anyway,
That's super interesting. This is an interesting conversation because what they're effectively saying is like, hey, when so I actually like this conversation a lot because it kind of discredits white supremacists, and I'm not saying that they are white supremacists, but
okay, they are not white supremacists. Terrific. Now, specifically, is Andrew Wilson a white supremacist?
Difference that a work ox and a workhorse can make in labor is astronomical.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
And so, you know, like that's the real.
You know, I've never seen Andrew say any white supremacist shit. I don't think so. Maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I forgot. Maybe he said it yesterday, and I felt.
He has no idea. He hasn't heard it, but maybe he did. This is how unfamiliar he is with his own brain. I didn't see anything, but I could have seen something. Interesting. Now, here's my favorite part. In the very same stream, as you can see the timestamps, so, again, it seems like Andrew Wilson's not a white supremacist, according to Papa Gut. And it seems like, well, maybe, I don't, he's probably not. I haven't heard him say anything.
Guys, that's the number one issue we got right now. Fucking gay people are allowed to get married. That's definitely ruining society. You know, nothing else. It's not fucking billionaires taking our money. None of that shit. It's apparently it's gay people, according to Andrew Wilson. That's fucking incredible. Okay. Wow. Joe, you have a fucking weird, like gay white, like anti-gay white supremacist in your show, and you're giving zero meaningful push.
And he calls him a white supremacist. Okay. This is what we're dealing with. Does he know he did that? I don't know. So if he's bad faith, he's intentionally doing something. But is he unintentionally bad faith? I honestly, I can't possibly know. So here we go. God bless Andrew Wilson for doing this. I can't talk to these people. I'm way too much of a spurg. There's nothing I can do about it. Gray Slayer for $5. It's Fat Walsh. Granted. Wow. It was right there the whole time. That should have been me. But it wasn't. It was you. I appreciate it. Let's get into it.
All right. What's going on?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, so I wanted to have a chat with you about a bunch of things that you said about me that are just fundamentally, completely, totally untrue.
Okay.
And I wanted you to give an accounting for them because I actually don't understand why you would say them.
Okay.
So first thing I wanted to get into was this. You said, quote, you sit there and advocate for 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds to sleep with 35-year-old men.
Okay.
Exact quote from your video.
Okay.
Which video is that a quote from?
Yeah, I'll pull it up here. Hang on.
Yeah, sure.
That was from the Andrew is an essay apologia, basically reviewing the Oliver stuff.
Okay, yeah, we were having a conversation about I guess 35, 40-year-old guys dating young girls, right?
Yeah, but that's not
saying that Andrew Wilson is doing, essentially CSAM, sexual abuse of minors, apologia. It's the claim. He'll just say things and go, whatever, man. I'm just saying it. What? Does he remember that he said it? I have no idea.
Do you realize the distinction between an advocation for a thing or me saying that there's actually no argument that I've heard which is compelling for why the thing bad?
Okay.
Sure.
I think that from what I remember from watching it, you were pretty like hardline. You think it's okay and that actually the woman benefits from the relationship. So I would consider that like an advocation. Yeah.
Yeah, how's that me advocating that 18 or 19-year-olds should sleep with 35-year-old men?
Well, you said that they get like a lot of positive benefits out of it, right? Because the 35-year-old guy has a lot of resources.
Some can.
Sure. Why is it bad that you advocate for that?
Yeah, well, wait. Do you realize the distinction, though, between me saying, or you saying, Andrew saying that 18, 19-year-olds should sleep with 35-year-olds?
Well, you said that they get like a tremendous benefit out of it because the guy has a lot of like money and resources.
Yeah, but you need to untangle the two ideas.
So are you saying
that's not an ought claim? That's not me saying that 19-year-olds should sleep with 35-year-olds.
We're talking about dating, I think.
In particular cases, there can be benefits to a 19 or 18-year-old marrying somebody who's older. I wouldn't advocate any of them sleep with anybody before marriage, right?
Okay.
So that's one. And then the second thing is like I've never said that they should sleep with 35-year-olds. That's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
Now, just so you know, they shouldn't necessarily do it as a prescription. However, it is legal, and he's looking for if somebody can provide the argument as to why it's inappropriate, wrong, bad, immoral. As it might shock you. Now, normally when Andrew Wilson talks to someone on the left, Papa Gut's going to claim to believe in God as a troll, but he's acting like he's doing it in good faith. Now, the difficult part of this is Papa Gut doesn't have, he has somehow less of a grounding epistemology than your average person on the left. Here's how it's possible.
Happened. Because that would be a should claim, a monolithic should claim.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I think that, I guess the way that I use advocation, that seems proper to me. You seem to be okay with it. That's a general advocation. It doesn't mean that you don't advocate for similar age relationships, but it kind of seems like we're splitting hairs unnecessarily.
Okay, no.
Classic move. Makes the accusation, for example, white supremacist. And then when you call him out for what he said, splitting hairs, classic. But does he think that? I don't know. I don't think there's an internal dialogue going on in his brain.
No, we're not though. So like, you think that people should have access to the right of freedom of speech?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, should they scream you're gay?
No, but if you wanted to, I'd advocate for that.
Right, so here's the entire point. Someone shouldn't do that with free speech. They shouldn't. But you defend their right or the legality of doing so. Very clear, easy point to understand.
Right, no. Right, so that's the distinction.
What?
That you believe that.
Well,
yes,
I would
speech.
advocate for your ability to scream you're gay.
Yeah, I get it, but
Yes.
you're not saying that I should do that. I should scream you're gay.
No, but I would say that I would still advocate for people to scream you're gay based on freedom of speech. If that's
No,
what
you're not
wanna do.
advocating that they
I
scream
am.
you're gay.
I'm
You're
advocating that if
they
you
have
want
the freedom
to,
of speech to do it.
I'm advocating that if you want to scream you're gay, then you should scream you're gay because it's freedom of speech.
But do you
Yep, and if you're 18 and you want to get married to a 35-year-old, like, well, what can I do about it? That's the legality. That's the law. And so it seems to be very parallel. We can all agree, right?
understand the distinction here? Like, you're not saying people should go scream you're gay, right?
No, but I think if they want to, I would advocate for them to do that. Yeah.
Now you're in this.
Now, I'm going to let you know right now. Oh, wow. It's flooding in, fellas. My word. Cream Slinger, $5. Thank you so much. He was so bad faith in this debate, it gave me diarrhea. Whatever good faith he had was hiding under his cunt. I don't know if it's hiding. I don't know if he ever had it. Johnny Two Ducks for $10. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wow. What a mighty good man. We have an N. Of course, short for nice. Thank you. Which means there should be an I next because we're going to be spelling nice. Very much appreciated. Wuffy. Smoky Man Bad. Right? I can't wait until I can be cartoon Booger Man Bad, It's a little long right now, but hopefully that happens to me. Very much appreciated. Woden's Man, $2. Excellent. Thank you for slowly spelling out the word nice. Very much appreciated. Oddly enough, Isaac for $2. Very much appreciated. G, the hell is that going to spell? Okay. Cream Slinger for $2. G. What are you guys trying to spell? Isaac for $2. Another G. Wow. Got some G's in the chat, am I right? Interesting. Dillweed, $2. E. Huh. This like an acronym? Okay. Okay, Christos for $2. R. For hard R. Yes, fellas. If you want to become a hard R, please click the link at the top of the chat. See, a lot of R support. Radio Guy, $2. Very much appreciated. Fellas, if you want to become a hard R. And of course, CyberChud 2077 for $5. Very much appreciated. S for special. All of you are very special. Fellas, thank you for that acronym. Very clever. The fellas are very clever.
Now you're in the same exact boat as me. I'm not saying you should go and marry a 35-year-old. I'm just explaining that if you want to marry a 35-year-old, I don't see any good compelling arguments why you shouldn't.
Okay. So that's like the big issue is the word advocation.
It's not a word advocation. It's a distinction in positions, which gives your audience the wrong impression. It makes it sound like I'm advocating that women at 18 should be finding themselves 35-year-old husbands, which is insane.
Okay.
And nothing I've ever said. And by the way, what would even your issue be with that? If an 18 or 19-year-old decided that they wanted to marry a 30 or 35-year-old, like let's say a 19-year-old had 2 kids with a 35-year-old man that she loved, would you advocate that they get divorced?
Are they twins?
Now, in retrospect, I don't, to to a typical normal person, Andrew Wilson should give these clarifying examples and whatnot, right? But to Papa Gut, I don't know if he can handle them. I really should have really kept it simple.
No.
Damn. Was she like pregnant at 17? How'd she have 2 kids with a 35-year-old at
Who
19?
cares? It's irrelevant.
I mean, I would say it's pretty relevant if she had kids with him at 17. That's
So Papa Gut's gonna do this thing where he's given a hypothetical. In between not knowing what a hypothetical is, he's gonna ask, like, yeah, but were they like wearing a red hat? He's gonna ask these questions to the hypothetical to try and help himself to not answer.
I believe that would be kind of crossing into territory of like some kind of.
She had her first one with him at 18, or second one with him at 19.
Gotcha. Okay, I was just making sure. I mean, when did the relationship start? If they started having kids at 18?
18.
Interesting. Oh, that seems like a very fast relationship. I guess that would be immaturity. I'm not against.
Would you
not
advocate that they got a divorce though?
No, I wouldn't advocate that they got a divorce.
Of course not. So you don't really have any even moral compelling reason why this is wrong.
Well, like I said, I think it's immature, but if you want to do it, I don't think that everything has to be a strong argument. I can look at like a 35-year-old person dating an 18-year-old person.
I don't think that everything has to be a strong argument. Well, here's the not all fallacy. No one's saying everything has to be a strong argument. However, when you accuse a man, oh, I didn't accuse him of that, very, very mooey, very backhanded, very plausible deniability, insinuating that Andrew Wilson is engaging in apologia for underage relationships, you should have a strong position on that if you're going to say it.
You're like, oh, that's immature. There's a big difference in life experience. But like, if you want to do it, you're an adult, be my guest.
Yeah, so what's even the issue with me advocating? If I were advocating for it, what would even be the issue?
Well, you came in here like seeming to have a very negative association with the word advocation, so I don't necessarily see like a huge issue. I'm pretty sure I also
didn't
said
have
this.
a negative.
I'm pretty sure I also said this.
No
in, like,
negative. There's no negative with the word advocation.
Okay.
I'm untangling the position of you can believe in the First Amendment, but not make a should claim.
Now, I would like to highlight something very quickly. Very quickly, okay? Okay. So, when Papa Gut had, for an hour and 40 minutes, it took him to get up to 370 live, okay? I'm at 360 right now in 40 minutes. He has 100,000 subscribers. I just think it's weird. It's a content creation anomaly, okay? Irregularity, so to speak.
And that you should yell you're gay because
but you should be able to. Yeah, but I would advocate that you be able to do that.
Yeah,
in the same way that you were advocating that people should be able to.
Yeah, now you're getting it. Yeah, they should be able to.
I've been saying the
Not
same.
that they should, only that they should be able to, right?
Sure,
but that's a huge difference, right? Huge difference.
I guess, but it doesn't change that it's still advocation, right? I don't. Okay.
Okay. Do you understand how absurd that is? It's like,
no.
So if you you don't.
No.
Okay. So if you advocate for one thing, that means you advocate for another.
If you can believe it, Papa Gut is not going to understand anything.
The thing?
I don't really understand the correlation. Simply what I said is that if you were okay, but you were advocating, right, for like an 18-year-old to be able to date or marry a 35-year-old the same way that I advocate.
That's different than advocating that they should.
Okay. Did I say the word? So the issue isn't the word advocate. The issue is the word should. I said so should. So you're saying that I shouldn't have said should. I should have said should be able to.
It's the difference between saying someone should run up to a gay person and scream at them that they're gay and call them slurs, and saying that someone has a right to do it, but they shouldn't necessarily do that behavior. Pretty easy.
Yeah. Otherwise, what you're doing, you're lying.
So we weren't. So I just want to be clear. We weren't having an issue with the word advocation. We're having an issue with the word should versus should be able to.
Yeah, we're having an issue with you attributing claims to me I don't make.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I thought that the issue was advocation. That's the sense that you made me feel. But it sounds like I should have said should be able to advocate. Should be able to.
Yeah, but do you know why you should do that? Why I think you should do that anyway?
Why is that?
Because then I think that when you make justifications to your audience, you're just going to be like, well, I actually agree with them.
What do you mean? Oh, okay. So you're saying that I'm lying to try to make people hate you in my audience?
Yeah.
Oh, is it possible that maybe I'm a little stupid?
Yeah.
Okay. So why?
It's possible.
The level of plausible deniability to levy such hefty accusations against another man and then just call yourself dumb. Like, I don't know. I'd lose it. I would lose it, dude. You actually might want to see me in a debate. It might last 5 minutes. It might go 5 hours. I have no idea. It's really up to the other person.
Why instantly go to like me being bad faith though?
Because of the malicious fact that you do it multiple times. You do it all the time. I have tons of examples. That's just the first one.
Gotcha.
So that's just the first example.
Okay.
And by the way, on that whole thing with Oliver, for sure that I was not advocating for SA. Like, that for sure.
Oh, this is like a while ago. Okay. I'm trying to remember what you said because I think I reacted to your response. You want to give me a refresher on it? Because I think there was more context to it, right?
Yeah, he was making monolithic all claims.
Right.
So
And you were
the reason that you can't use an argument from out.
You have to say to a lefty, you're making a monolithic all claim because we have to say not all. And they go, oh, so you think all this? No, I'm making a point and you're trying to not understand it.
Outlier is because if you agree that X is possible, then I can always point to that as an outlier and gave him a jarring position for a potential outlier, which he agreed with. Then he dishonestly clipped that as though I wasn't mocking him for his stupidity, but rather advocating for that position. You did not make that clear for your audience at all.
So I think what the claim was that you said there might be some people who enjoy sexual assault, and you weren't saying that. Hold on, from what I remember, and you weren't saying that that makes it justified.
There's the claim. And Andrew goes, no. And he goes, hold on, I'm not done lying about you. Hold on. I'm not done defaming you. Let's be fair.
You were saying something along the lines that just because some people might enjoy it doesn't mean that sexual assault is good. That's from what I remember from the full context, right?
Yeah. So it's actually not that. So if you say all people are stupid, you agree with me that that's a stupid claim to make, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if there was a response to that, well, no, some people aren't stupid, right? Or some people aren't this, or some people aren't that. If you're trying to use an argument from outlier.
Yeah.
So all I'm pointing out there is if you're only going to use arguments from outliers when we're talking in generalities, then you have to be prepared for the fact that I could use whatever outlier that I wanted to, as long as it falls under the purview of logical possibility. Now, I can send you the clip of Oliver saying, of course, it's logically possible that this could occur.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
but I already
mocking him. That was me mocking him for that.
Right. Well, I don't need to
how is that rape apologia?
Well, so just to be clear, I think I just conceded.
Now, it should be noted that I'm assuming when Andrew and his wife have conversations, they're listening to each other. Papa Gut never has anyone listening to him, and I think he's no longer listening to himself living with his wife.
To that, right? Like the full context was that you said just because in some instances. So I guess I'd have to retract that one. But I remember watching your response to that, and I found it interesting that you said that there is sometimes like a pattern of you saying outrageous things and then getting negative attention and then having to I guess square it up. Do you think that that's an issue that you constantly say outrageous things, sometimes possibly for attention, and then people misconstrue you and you don't?
Papa Gut never says any outrageous things. He never does this, by the way, right? Okay.
Correct the behavior.
What do I say that's outrageous?
That's just what you had said in your response video.
No,
that you will,
what I said in the response video is
that you will routinely say things that are outrageous.
I will use examples.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll use examples which are jarring. They're not outrageous. They're jarring. But they're not out. There's nothing outrageous about it. Using an example that's uncomfortable may be jarring. But the thing is like, even if that was the case, let's just say it was, you consider it to be outrageous that I use this as an example for outliers.
Sure.
Well, how is that defensible that somebody clips it up dishonestly and spreads it as though I'm in favor of SA?
Well, I don't think it would be. I will say that you also have like another take, and maybe it's out of context, but you were talking about, was it force doctrine? And that you said that women should be, to some extent, like apologetic or happy that men don't rape them. That doesn't really seem like,
oh, Lord.
I don't understand. Wouldn't that also be some kind of rape?
The ideal, it's the opposite. The ideal from feminists. So feminists operate under a worldview, and that worldview that they operate under is very secular and is usually agnostic towards God. Do you agree with that?
Maybe. I guess so. I mean,
maybe. I guess so. He can't say yes to anything, dude. It's one of the most postmodern conversations I've heard in a very long time, and I listen to too many for my own good. Now, fellas, if you're talking to somebody and you're like, yeah, feminism is anti-religion, because I mean, religion is the patriarchy, feminism, anti-patriarchy. It's a very easy concession to make, right?
Well, why would it be agnostic towards God? Is it because like the woman has some kind of like
because
role? Because
generally, if you follow an Abrahamic religion, they're patriarchal. So
okay.
If feminists want to destroy the patriarchy, then necessarily they tend to stay away from Abrahamic.
So you're saying that like if a woman wants to have like be seen or have an equal role as a man, that would be counterintuitive to religion.
Well, an equal role in what way? Depends on the way.
Just in the same, being able to work and I guess lead a household or have an equal contribution to leading a household.
David Sauce.
Well, no, that would depend on circumstance.
Okay.
So the thing is like, that's not what we mean by a patriarchal religion. It means that the body or the head of the religion is going to be male necessarily.
Okay.
Like women can't,
they
can't have positions of authority over men inside the church. It's necessarily patriarchal.
We can agree the entire time. Papa Gun. Now I'm going to say it. Papa Gun. Wow, it was right there the whole time. We can agree that he's not listening the entire time Andrew Wilson is talking. He's waiting to respond, but he also doesn't know what he's going to say when he's going to respond. It's very fascinating psychology to me. Brother Gunther, $2, thank you. Remember, his audience thinks he's smart. Do they? His audience is probably like his wife. Bear in the Woods, $5, thank you. Why understand anything that makes me uncomfortable? I can always just obfuscate and act like a snarky Redditor. Papa Gunt, probably. Definitely. But does he know that? I don't know. I'm not kidding either. The Limiting Principle Podcast, $5. Thank you, Patrick. Is there any evidence disproving that Papa Gunt didn't have water spill on him and Alec Gunter sprang from his back like the Mogwai and Gremlins? For those of you that are less initiated, Alec Gunter, a cow that I staked a claim to very early on, a couple of years ago maybe at this point, and also Remnant 777 has a really funny video talking to him as well. But yes, here we have 30,000 subscribers. His live views, barely 1,000. Oftentimes under 1,000. And some of his videos are getting under 1,000. Okay. Again, very low engagement, very high subscriber. Interesting. I'll have to follow up on that. It's very interesting stuff. Theodore McCarthy for $10. Thank you so much. As a former leftist, I'm deeply irritated with the inability of current leftists to intelligently defend their own positions. I'm now hard right, but I'm still a better leftist than these morons. Well, that's the thing. So isn't Andrew Wilson. So isn't a lot of ortho bros that debate them, that actually know their positions. But this guy has sub-epistemology. He has negative epistemology.
Okay, so your goal is to dismantle patriarchy. Obviously, you're going to be steering clear of Abrahamic religion.
Okay, yeah. So like feminism is counterintuitive to religion because it advocates that women have like the ability to be equal in all ways to men.
Even including within the church, right?
Sure,
or even if
I
they
guess
didn't
so.
think that.
Sure, I guess
well,
so.
no, even outside
Maybe.
the church. I don't.
They would still be trying to dismantle the patriarchal nature of the church.
I don't usually see a lot of feminism that's like specifically religious related. So maybe there's something I'm not seeing. But like generally speaking, it seems like you're saying that because feminism advocates for women to be equal to men, it's against religion because religion is supposed to put men. I mean, maybe you wouldn't say higher than women, but like in a different classification as women.
No, the point of the point of feminism is to dismantle patriarchal systems.
Sure,
that's the point. So there's an oppressed class. If women are the oppressed class, then who's the oppressor class? Men.
Sure,
right?
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. That's the deduction. Who are women? Women aren't being oppressed by women; they're being oppressed by men, right? So that's the patriarchy. If you have some kind of organizations that is necessarily patriarchal, in this case, the church is going to be necessarily patriarchal. They're going to want to dismantle.
Hey, Papa Gunt, is essay against children bad and immoral? Sure, I guess, maybe.
The elements of that make it patriarchal.
So do you have like an issue with women wanting to work and get equal pay or work similar to the same jobs as men, or is it just because
women have always worked? That's
sure, but like equal jobs as men. Like should men be like I'm just trying to flush you out. Like should women be able to be CEOs or anything like that? Or is there any restriction that you would
I don't care. It's completely irrelevant.
Oh, so then what would that be negative toward? I've never seen feminism that actively is negative towards religion. So I don't see how these two things can exist. No, I really haven't.
So you don't see feminist movements which are trying to get like female priests and female preachers and Catholic Church. They've been fighting that for 100 years.
Hey, have you noticed all the child trafficking in the country, Papa Gunt? No, I haven't seen it.
A massive movement towards getting females who are in positions of power and authority.
Not in the church. It's really not something I've seen. I mean, I trust that it's happening from whatever sphere you're existing.
And it's been happening in the Orthodox Church, and it happens in all the Protestant churches. And
are you okay with feminism outside of the church then, or is it just inside the church? Oh,
no,
so then
all feminism bad.
Okay, gotcha. So why, if it's like setting the church part aside, what's the issue?
Because it's illogical.
Okay,
it's an illogical position. Okay. It's if in order to deconstruct patriarchy, you have to appeal to the patriarchy.
What do you mean?
It's necessarily circular. Okay. Well, how are women going to overthrow the patriarchy without appealing to the patriarchy?
Maybe we have a different. I mean,
Simply Green. Is there anything stopping a penguin from swimming to Texas? I don't know. Interesting. I'll get back to you on that. Maybe. I don't know.
a different understanding of feminism, because when I see feminism, it's not explicitly about overthrowing a patriarchy, and it's more just about women having the ability to work and get divorced and things of that nature, so that they can have an equal footing to a man because they have financial.
Then what's
power.
the difference between feminism and liberalism?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
They're just the same thing?
Sure. I mean, I don't really know what liberalism is.
Sure.
Yeah.
No,
he doesn't really know what liberalism is. Wow. He doesn't know anything. Andrew, baby, how do you do it? Dude, I'd start losing it.
Distinct ideologies.
Okay.
The purpose of feminism is to deconstruct patriarchal systems.
Okay.
Because they consider them an oppressor class.
Okay. And you don't consider it an oppressor class?
Every single definition you could pull up right now of feminism is going to include deconstructing patriarchy.
Okay. So you don't like feminism because it wants to deconstruct patriarchy, and you think that patriarchy is a good thing?
No, I don't even think it's possible. I think it's an irrational position.
Okay. Why?
You can't, because you're appealing to the very same thing that you're trying to overthrow it, which means you're necessarily going to always be appealing to the thing to overthrow the thing, because you don't have the requisite force to overthrow it yourself.
What?
Classic Andrew Wilson argument where you would need the patriarchy to give you permission to do it.
It's the thing. What are they appealing to?
The patriarchy.
So the issue with feminism is that they appeal to patriarchy to overthrow patriarchy.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Well, okay, so like let's take the Middle East, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
When Middle Easterners tell women that they don't have any rights, do women have rights anymore?
When they just tell them? I mean, I don't know. It seems like they have an oppressive structure that takes away their rights.
Does seem like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What can women do about that? Nothing, right?
Right. Okay. So you're saying that they need the patriarchy to fight against the patriarchy, and so it always exists.
Yeah, they're necessarily appealing to the patriarchy over and over and over and over and over again.
Do you think that
they're trying to dismantle the thing by appealing to the thing to dismantle the thing in an infinite regress?
But it seems to work at least better in the United States or other Western countries than Eastern countries. So it seems like it's working.
As long as so all you're saying is that the patriarchy is benevolent.
Yeah, as long as I guess men are benevolent.
As long as that's right.
But doesn't
it seem like you should be a little bit thankful for the benevolence of men then?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah,
but wouldn't it be men that put them in the position in the first place?
Okay.
So you're being benevolent or you're being thankful.
Hang on.
Well, hold on.
Hang on.
Wouldn't men in general, because I don't think that every man alive is a creator of patriarchy. I think it's ridiculous to blame all men for patriarchy. I think that's just stupid. But historically, it's men who created the patriarchy. So why would you need to be like super thankful to the group of people who created the patriarchy?
Because if you're a feminist and you have no morality, no structured morality, and rights are just social constructs, and all of these things are just products of the mind, then malevolence and benevolence has no grounding. So you're just basically, there's no position from which you can critique the malevolence of the patriarchy.
Essentially, what it comes down to is force doctrine and majority rule. It's always what it comes down to with the left. Like, yeah, if we vote for it, so we can vote the rights away. Because remember, with the left, when they say rights, they mean wants. They don't believe in an actual universal right.
Or the benevolence of the patriarchy. So if men want to oppress women from the feminist worldview, they have no position from which to criticize them, except, well, we just prefer that you don't. And if men say, oh, well, we just prefer that we do, what's their grounding then, dude? What are they going to appeal to then?
Well, it sounds like we're getting more to a conversation about some kind of objective morality rather than getting into a conversation about whether it's effective, because it has been effective in the United States.
Forget morality. Let's just say it doesn't exist. It's irrelevant.
Okay.
Let's just say that
I love this. I love what the ortho bros do so much. It's they concession to death. Let's remove it. Yeah. Let's completely steelman it. Like, it really reminds me of Kung Fu movies. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. In Kung Fu movies, which I'm a huge fan of, you don't show your most deadly styles. You fight with the style that you can get away with. And then as the fight progresses, you then show your more deadly styles. You don't want to show your deadliest styles right away. I love it. Concession. Let's say, yeah, dude, just because the left thinks that in order for them to win a debate, they have to disagree. And so they're like a concession averse. And that's why when he's like even making a concession, he's like, yeah, pretty much, maybe, whatever. I said kind of, yeah, maybe a little bit.
All morality is subjective. Then who's the subject? You, right?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so if you're the subject and I'm the subject and I want to punish you for whatever particular reason I want, what makes me less right than you?
Is it going to be like a force doctrine thing? Because like I could physically stop you from punishing me or something? Is that what you're looking for?
No.
Because it seems like we're getting very overly complicated on the conversations.
We're not.
Do you want to know when things get overly complicated? 2 + 2 = 4. Yeah, maybe, I guess. Do you think it doesn't? No, I said sure. Can you tell me, I'm sorry. Can you tell me, do you have an issue with this, with the statement 2 + 2? Like, you see how that's getting complicated? Yeah. The left loves to bring you into the weeds and then go, oh, we're getting in the weeds right now.
We're not overly complex.
I think so. I think that the simplified version of this is like, hey, women want access to more rights and some kind of equal rights to be on a more equal footing so that they don't have to be put into positions of being abused by men.
Because they prefer them?
Prefer what, equal rights?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like my streaming co-host is backseat driving from the chat. But he does make a very good point. Papa Gunn is acting like it's complicated. And fellas,
it's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all.
Couldn't agree more, Fist.
I guess. Yeah, to the alternative.
So what if men don't prefer to give it to them? Why are those men wrong?
Then I guess we'd be in the Middle East.
Yeah, but why are those men wrong if they don't want to?
Why are they right if they want to be able to?
Yeah, that's answering question with a question. Answer the question, then ask the question.
Oh, okay. This is fair.
That is fair.
I think that society is functions more healthily when men and women both have an equal say in pretty much every structure.
Yeah, but you see how that just goes back to preference? I think
I guess, sure.
I'm the subject, right?
But why is your preference better than my preference?
As an atheist, I might be able to get around my preferences. I might be able to, but I'm not like a leftist atheist. But I have to save. I have to save that. That's one of my deadlier styles, right?
Yeah, that's my question to you. Why is your preference better than my preference? Why?
I think that just makes more sense because you put people into a position when you have one class of people with a higher amount of power over another, it very quickly can lead to abuse, whether it's men or women having a higher class of power.
Yeah, but see, we're back to that's circular. It just goes back to the
I don't
same
think
question.
it's circular at all.
If men are abusing women, why is that bad?
Because they're getting hurt. Abuse usually hurts people.
Yeah, so why is that bad though?
I don't think that we should hurt people.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think we should do it. So you just back to the preference again.
Okay, so you think that being hurt is preferable or okay for women?
I think that if your morality,
it's not even a game of telephone. He's talking to him directly. It's not like it went through many people's mouths and ears and then ended up in Papa Gun's brain. He's like, wait, so you like hurting people?
boils down to preference, then you're just saying, I prefer that you don't do this. And me saying, well, I prefer that I do this.
Well, I think my morality
no
boils
basis
down.
for which to say
I do.
that I'm wrong.
I have my morality just boils down to, I guess, like fundamentally treating people with respect. I don't know. And, not abusing people.
So preferences.
Yeah.
So I want you to understand what's really important with this, okay? Because we're living in a very hedonistic, immoral time, okay? Very decadent time. What's underneath the point of what Andrew Wilson is making is they don't believe in rights. So these things can just be voted out. If people vote to harm women, well, then that's just a liberal democracy and that could be voted, right? Under a Christian rule that you can't do that. And then Sure, it could be subverted and whatnot. Sure, but any system can be subverted, so that's not even an adequate rebuttal.
That's my preference. So like I said, like a couple minutes ago, we're getting into a conversation about objective morality. Why don't we just go there?
We already are there.
Oh, okay.
There's no reason to justify objective morality if it's the case that morality is subject, meaning subject to you. Why would I ever need to justify anything besides fine? Then I'll just use force to do whatever I want because I'm the subject.
I like this because with the postmodernist, anything is anything, and they have to bend the knee to it. They have to.
You're saying that's okay, or?
And under a subjectivist worldview, yeah, it'd be fine. I'm the subject.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess there'd have to be enough people who disagreed with you to want to counter against that. Is that the foundation of America, though? Right.
So then, by that same logic, as long as there's enough people who say no, then I'm right.
Unfortunately, that would be how it would work. Yeah, but hopefully we don't get to that.
Yeah,
point.
Right. So
I mean, we're in a constant battle of opinions and ideas, right? That's how.
Yeah.
The
Do you see why that's not?
So we're always one vote away from actually oppressing people. I believe it's the point.
Tenable. Do you see why that's not a tenable position?
Why?
Because if that's the case, then any critique that you have of any of the things that you consider men do to women, which are malevolent, is just a matter of subject. To the subject, the woman says, no, I don't like this. Therefore, it's wrong. The man says, no, I do like this. Therefore, it's right. How do we define or decide who's correct there without appealing to the masses? Because if the masses agree with me that
Also, fellas, I've been talking with some fellas behind the scenes, some ortho bros, and the orthos, you can kill motherfuckers, okay? I am just being made aware of a very masculine Orthodox Christianity that I never knew existed until less than a year ago, okay?
I can abuse my wife, then I'm morally correct. And if the masses believe that I should not abuse my wife, then I'm morally incorrect.
That's how it is. Yeah, you have to appeal to the masses of people.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
If you want to live in a society. Yeah, unfortunately.
So morality is subject to the masses. So if that's the case, my friend, then if the masses say that you should be able to sleep with girls who are 12 or 13 or 14, you actually have no moral argument that you can make against that now.
Well, I do have a moral argument for me personally.
Oh, you don't?
I do.
No, you just said that your personal morality is subject to the masses.
Yeah. Well, no, I said is that I didn't say my personal, and if I did insinuate, that's not what I meant. What I said is
I didn't say that, and if I did insinuate that, it's not what I meant. Always hedging his bets, always a way to squirm out. Isaac for $5. Thank you so much, dude. Yes. Okay. Do you have interesting, I guess. Interesting. Never had this convo. Why is Papa the death of a lol cow? I have a month at this point behind his paywall. And it's a very difficult dance, very tight rope that I walk, right? Because they're insufferable. And how do you cover something so insufferable? It's tough, but I kind of like them. Bear in the Woods, $5, thank you. Papa Gun is absolutely the type of midwit that would attempt to rationalize kid essay as long as the child agreed. This is the point, right? And this is the point of the obfuscation. This is the point of them bringing you into the weeds and then complaining that you're in the weeds and then having a conversation about having a conversation about having a conversation. Exactly. And it's creepy when you think about it because there's nothing holding them back. The Unconsidered, $2, thank you. Communists have souls and are totally people. Yes, his wife is totally attractive. Yeah. I can play that game. Yeah, we're doing the opposite thing. Isaac, $5, thank you. Papa not agreeing on anything is so anti-human and anti-religious. It is the reason for people to force their rules to make sure people follow them. I know. Honestly, an Orthodox Christian society, we really shape things up in like a decade, like pretty quickly and pretty fairly at that.
That like societal morality, unfortunately, is going to be subject to the masses. I can have a personal, I can have a personal morality, and I can advocate for that morality, and I can try to use different things to get people to understand why I think and why they would think. By extension, we should have that type of a morality. Like, for instance, we shouldn't sleep with 12-year-olds because their children still developing.
Then you're the ultimate arbiter of morality.
No, we would all be the ultimate arbiter. I would exist in a society of advocation.
Do you understand?
Don't you love that? The dictatorship of the proletariat. We're all the arbiter. No. No. We are not the dictatorship. No, that's not how it works.
And that we all could not, it's not possible for all of us to be the ultimate arbiter of morality. There would have to be one arbiter of morality.
Well, I don't think that,
or no
but that would be counterintuitive to like a democracy or a democratic republic, right? We're not, there's no, well, I guess you'd say the president, but like,
I guess a democracy is counterintuitive.
We all have the ability to cast our vote, which contributes to our morality.
Yeah, but now you have a separate problem. If we as a democracy decide you can marry 13-year-olds, you still would say that's wrong.
Yeah.
What would make that wrong except your preference?
I was wrong.
Yeah, what would make it wrong other than your preference?
Right.
The danger of something just coming down to a preference is that someone else's preference. And I mean, we've seen this in society. We've seen this with crooked DAs in Democrat areas where they're just not enforcing the law. We see what happens when it's just left up to preference.
That would have a conversation about how it's 13-year-olds would be.
That's nice. They don't care about your conversation. They think you're fucking
but they
idiot.
do.
What makes you right?
But don't they?
No,
that's how the world has always worked.
If democratically they decide you can marry 13-year-olds, Papa Gut says, no, you can't. That's against my preferences. What makes you right and all of them wrong? What makes you morally correct and all of them morally incorrect?
I think it's wrong, right? So that's what I'm going to keep saying, and we're going to keep dancing around. We're going to keep dancing around this idea of like objective morality.
So it's wrong because you think it's wrong.
Well, I think it's wrong because a lot of people. Well, no, it's wrong. Well, I don't have like me thinking something's wrong doesn't change legislation, right? So like me.
How much would you like and hate if Andrew Wilson was your father? When he starts this line of questioning, he doesn't have to raise his voice. He just starts asking you a line of questioning, like, oh, duh, because I think, because. He's like, because, nothing else, because? Oh, I would clean my room. I would way rather he hits me than do this line of questioning if I messed up, dude. I can see it.
We're not talking about legislation. We're talking about
when you
moral.
say ultimate arbiter, that's what.
So if legislators get together, okay, and like 80% of the people agree with them, actually, you know what? Let's make it super easy.
Sure,
99.99999%. Only you disagree with them.
Wow, that's
all
crazy.
The rest of them think that marrying 13-year-olds is fine.
Yeah,
you would still object to that, right?
Yeah. Well, didn't society used to be like that until we implemented more rules?
But you would still object to that, right?
Yeah, but didn't we used to have a society?
So
that
if
was
you
much
would
more
still
loose?
object to that, what would make your objection moral and all of them immoral?
I think that the 13-year-olds shouldn't be marrying adults. And then I would have I mean, you want to go in depth? I think you understand why 13-year-olds shouldn't be marrying.
No, I don't understand from your view what would make your position moral and all of their positions.
No, I don't understand from your view. Now, of course, he could clip that out of context where he just says, no, I don't understand. But we'll see if he ever does that.
Immoral.
Well, I would say that. Okay, I'm assuming that you're doing like a debate thing. Like you're doing a debate thing.
It's not a debate thing. It's a legitimate question.
I don't think it is a legitimate.
No, Papa Gun. I want to know what's preventing you from abusing children. And I know that you wouldn't do it, but other people will do it.
Question. I think that we're dancing around this idea. I think that we're dancing around this idea. Like you have an objective morality.
We're right at the heart. We're right at the heart of it. If it's the case that you believe everybody else is wrong and that they all say marrying 13-year-olds is fine, right? Why are you morally correct and all of them are morally incorrect?
Because 13-year-olds aren't old enough to consent. They don't have like a developed brain.
That doesn't tell me why.
Well, no, it does, but it does start. Yes, it does. What are you talking about? Why not?
Yeah,
why are my reasons not a contribution to why I'm morally correct?
They don't believe because they believe that it's fine, regardless of if they can consent or not.
Okay,
they think it's moral. You think it's immoral.
But then I would have a conversation. I would express my opinion.
Yeah, and they say, fuck,
and they would be, and they would say, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Isn't that how we change?
That doesn't tell me why you're morally correct and they're morally wrong.
But it does, though, right? Like we're a society of different conversations about different things, and I think most people are reasonable, regardless of what.
We're a society of different conversations about different things. Man, this guy. Now, what am I? I'm an hour and 10 minutes in, right? Incredible. This man with 100,000 subs, okay? We're right around the same. Wow. How do I have the level of live viewers? There's a channel with 100,000 subscribers. That's incredible. Either I have a high amount or he has a very low amount.
That doesn't tell me shit. Do you understand?
And so that if I sit here and I say like, hey, listen, I think a 13-year-old is like would be completely abused by an adult because they're not in the same place at all. They're not physically as strong. They're not mentally as strong. That would, I would imagine, change the minds of people like it has historically. I believe in the United.
Yeah. The question is, if
he
all of
muted his
them
microphone by accident there.
said it makes you really.
Answer.
Here's what you said. I said, why is it that would be the case that you're morally correct and all of them are morally wrong? And you said, because I'd have a conversation with them. What the fuck does that mean?
Well, that's not
what the fuck does that mean?
What I did is I laid out that 13-year-olds would be abused because they're children.
They think abuse is moral. They think it's moral.
Okay. So then I guess I would lose that conversation.
Yeah,
but that's
so
usually how we're
wrong.
Okay. I think I've answered this question multiple times. Again, so I'm assuming that you are more focused on like objective morality, where you say, like, hey, the Bible.
I'm focused on trying to understand why they're all wrong. That abuse of children is fine. They think it's fine. They think it's moral. Why are they wrong morally and you're right morally?
I've explained this like multiple times. You don't the fact that you're not satisfied.
Here's what you should know, okay? Now, I have it time-stamped. We're not going to watch the whole thing like this. So I'm going to bounce around to timestamps. Now, it's going to seem like he can't answer the question if he had breakfast, okay? And oddly enough, later on, he actually can answer it. So it's like he's doing it as a tactic.
Satisfied with my answer. It's okay.
Explain it again. Use small words.
Yeah. The fact that you're not satisfied with my answer is okay, but like I've already explained it. Why don't we move on?
No, you
to
haven't
what
explained it.
Why don't you move on to like what your worldview is?
Explain it again.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to explain it like 3 times. So
you haven't explained anything.
Why don't you?
I mean, essentially, for me as an atheist, right, a right-wing atheist, I would ground my morality in Christianity, right? But there's many atheists that don't do that, right? So I guess I would say atheism without an influence in Christianity, that's very dangerous, right? But a typical atheist doesn't venerate Christianity, so I would have to appeal to Christianity because I don't know where else it comes from, but it seems to align with you guys. Like I don't know how else to explain it, right? And then that could be a deeper conversation, right?
Tell me why it is that you're right and moral, and all of them are immoral.
Why don't you just move on to what your worldview is so we can have a conversation?
Answer the fucking question, dude.
Why not just answer, like you give me your perspective.
Stop coping and just answer the question.
Okay. So why not just give me your perspective so I can understand better?
Okay, here's my perspective.
Yeah,
my perspective is that it's irrelevant for me to have to ground any sort of morality from to a person who can't explain to me why it is that anything I do is immoral.
Okay. So what's your morality based on?
Who cares? It's irrelevant. Can you tell me why, even if it was based in total lies, it would be immoral?
I love that. The Ortho Bros never even have to invoke God. I never would have imagined but I think it's only the Ortho Bros that do this. Oddly enough, I don't know. Is there any other denomination that has a style of debate?
I'm kind of I think that like a pretty normal person would look at what I'm saying and say like, oh yeah, we're a collection of different people with different ideas, and that's how our governmental structure has been created and evolved over time.
It's irrelevant. Totally
and
irrelevant.
So like you disagree with that. That's okay. So like where do you source your ideology from? Like is it very religious centric?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
So now help me out here. If you can't tell me that
Andrew Wilson finally answers and Papa Gunn just goes, okay. What was the point of asking it? It's just an obfuscation.
Anything that I do is immoral without appealing to a consensus. And you say, as long as the consensus is on my side, then that means what I'm doing is moral. Then that would mean that if I advocated for the most horrific things in the world, i.e. SA cages.
Why not just say sexual assault?
What would be the standard because of YouTube? What would be the standard? Yeah, well, they may not censor things for you, but they censor all kinds of things for me. Okay. But anyway, if you say, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm one of the most mass reported people out there for no reason, but whatever.
Okay.
You would know. I wouldn't. How would I know? It's just my channel. But anyway.
So true. Yeah.
If they stuff them all in.
Well, this is the thing. So someone said orthos are seen as rude and pushy for their debate style. And me as an atheist, I'm like, yes, awesome, good. Because my perception of Christianity is it's been feminized. Christianity. And so to see someone that'll swear, tear someone down, I mean, it seems like the most masculine form of Christianity because it essentially would be the original Christianity, from my understanding.
In SA cages, right?
Okay.
Because that's the consensus.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why that's immoral?
Yeah, I would take away someone's agency and autonomy over themselves, which they should be able to have over themselves. That's wrong. It's abusive and it's harmful and it's bad.
Yeah, but do you see how that's a tautology?
I think it's perfectly rational, reasonable, and it's what we've been founding our entire structure on for since we started. So I think it's fine.
It's bad because it's bad.
Sure, if that's what you got out of what I said, sure. Yeah,
that's what you said. It's bad.
If that's what you interpreted from what I said, sure.
And fellas, with our ortho push, okay, it's a multi-pronged approach. So we have Andrew Wilson, we have Made by Jim Bob, which Made by Jim Bob is looking for direct conversions, dude. Okay, he's more aggressive. Then we have my co-host Fist over here, Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern, already in Fist. Then we have Fist. Now his approach is very effective, but not pushy at all whatsoever. And then you have me, an atheist, being like, this is the most like understandable, reasonable, least subverted version of Christianity I've seen. So we're doing an ortho push. Sorry, Catholics. Sorry, Protestants. But I generally say Christianity, right? But here's my favorite part. I love never having to debate religion. Oh, it's one of my favorite things. Oh, that does not look fun.
Sure, yeah.
Well, if the consensus is on my side,
okay,
then what would make us immoral and you moral?
I guess nothing. I guess
nothing.
Sure, yeah.
So if the answer is nothing, then you have no position from which to critique.
Jay Dyer is a nightmare of a person to debate. Oh, he's a nightmare.
Then how is the way
you have no position to critique the morality of anybody ever?
So then how is it that my position that I'm saying has been how we?
This is what I'm saying, fellas. This is what I'm saying. Made by Jim Bob, buddy. Understand this right now, okay? It doesn't matter what I call myself. All right. Understand the fruits of what's happening. This is from Rumble. I was raised Catholic. I want to convert to Orthodoxy, but I struggled with faith. Oddly enough, stay on this atheist's YouTube channel for a month, and you'll be going to Divine Liturgy in no time. Don't ask me how I'm doing it. I don't know how any of this is happening. But yeah.
We've been operating since like the start of our country, and it
isn't.
What is
the country operated under a shared axiom of under God?
Okay. So like an objective morality of God.
That was the shared axiomatic presence.
And you think that was
all of these rights are justified because we ground them.
All right, I got a timestamp. Let's scooch it forward a little bit. Gets a little fluffy towards the middle.
A lot more courteous to other people.
That's possible. I mean, I don't know that that's happening on such a wide scale. Well, we generally have a criminal justice system that I think for the most part works out pretty well. So I don't think
except unless it's blacks and women and everybody except white guys, right?
I don't know what that means.
Look. I don't know what that means. You know, the criminal justice system, the oppressive, racist, sexist criminal justice system that you're appealing to right now and saying that there's pretty much no problems with it. I don't know what that means.
I mean, I don't know that it's happening on such a wide scale. Well, we generally have a criminal justice system that I think for the most part works out pretty well. So I don't think
except unless it's blacks and women and everybody except white guys, right?
I don't know what that means. I'm a little confused. What do you mean?
You think the criminal justice system is awesome except for when it comes to minorities and everybody who's not a white guy?
Honestly, generally, I think the criminal justice system is pretty decent. I don't think that our biggest issue in our society is necessarily criminal justice.
So Papa Gunt is an odd kind of leftist, right? So he isn't a communist. He's sympathetic to socialism. He would pivot to a Nordic model where it's still capitalist but heavy social safety nets. And then, like out of this side of his mouth, like economically, but then also with like, oh, he has no problem in this situation saying that, and then in another situation crying about racism. It's a prison in his own mind, and I understand why he gets less live viewers than I do. It's fascinating to me.
System gets black people. I think it's very difficult for anybody, white people, black people, any type of person, to be able to support themselves financially because of like massive job loss. So like any disparity that there is when it comes to black people or women or whatever, I think would largely go away if people had more financial opportunity. So like I'm not really focused on that. There's probably are going.
I have a quick question. What happens when we give athlete blacks millions of dollars? Do the problems go away? Do the problems go away, or do their wives look like they had to tell them twice? Okay. Just giving them a bunch of money, really make the problems go away. I mean, we have a lot of case studies in society to suggest otherwise.
Right now, there's a disparity, though, right? Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a disparity.
Yeah, of course.
I don't understand.
Not for white people, right?
Is there a disparity where white people are getting overcharged?
Is there a disparity where black people are?
In low-income areas, sure, but I think that could largely.
No, I don't think there is.
Okay.
I don't think there is.
Okay. Well, I would say that it was mostly based on like financial opportunity, right? So like black people are disproportionately poor. They're going to go to jail more, right?
Okay.
I don't think it's because they're black. I think it's because they're poor. So if we can focus on the money.
But I believe there's a statistic with rich black people versus poor white people, and the results are what one would call disproportionate. Curious.
I'm
sorry. Interesting. I'll have to look at that.
Like to just very quickly,
if
you don't mind,
sure,
get back to this idea of why it is again that.
I mean, I was having a nice. I think the conversation went to a better spot when we were just.
So JQ fellas. So Jay talks about the JQ all the time. What? So you have to realize that the ortho bros, the most important thing is the ortho, right? Now, me as an atheist, I can go at the J's very easily, right? But I'm a genetic dead end, all right? I'm a degen procreationally, okay? I'm riding this thing out. I'm not looking to. I have nothing to pass on, really, okay? You have to realize, like Made by Jim Bob will say, like, this is a 50 to 100 year project, right? They are looking very far into the future. The most important thing is the ortho. The J is going to be secondary to that. I hope you understand that.
Kind of talking and bullshitting and keeping it casual instead of kind of debating.
Well, it is casual, but I want you to actually engage with what I'm asking now.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
Just like actually engage. Listen to what I'm saying. Don't listen to just respond. Just actually think about what I'm saying. Because
he's not listening. Look at Papa God. It's like he's talking to a child. It's like you're just talking to a child. He's like, hey, dude, listen to what I'm saying. Stop waiting to respond, and then watch him wait to respond.
Oh, it is casual, but I want you to actually engage with what I'm asking now.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
Just like actually engage. Listen to what I'm saying. Don't listen to just respond. Just actually think about what I'm saying. Because
well, just to be clear, I did concede that, hey, I'm going to look into it later more about the slavery thing. So I did. So
is that conceding that you're going to look into it more later on? Is that even a concession? Now, this isn't Andrew Wilson's fault. There are so many things wrong with this conversation that it wouldn't be a conversation if you stopped to address all these things. But saying that you'll look something up later on, I don't think that's a concession. A concession would be, I'll grant your point. Is he granting the point? If he's like, I don't know if that's true. Maybe it is. You can't do a bunch of maybes and call it a concession.
I am engaging. What you're saying isn't exactly
what I want you to do is actually think about what it is that I'm saying. Don't listen to respond.
I'm
right.
I'm ready.
Understand how I view the world, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole point?
Well, I think I do understand that. Like, you're very religious centric. Like, you believe in an objective morality that comes from religion.
No, it's worse. It's worse. I don't believe that any of you have any leg to stand on to ever critique another person's morality ever, because you don't believe that there is any such thing as morality. And when put to the question of this, I can demonstrate this for you.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So if you make an appeal to consensus, meaning X amount of people believe thing is moral.
Yeah.
Right. And those people put in, like, you can marry 13-year-old girls.
Yeah.
Do you believe that that's immoral?
Yes, I do.
That makes sense to me that you would believe it's immoral.
Thank you.
Can you tell me what would actually make that position moral and their position immoral?
God told me that's wrong.
So divine command.
Yeah. God.
So here we go. Now, some of the fellows might hate on me for saying I'm an atheist, but gosh darn it, gee golly gosh williker is my honest. All right. Nothing. I say there's nothing I hate more. I really shouldn't say that. You probably hate it a lot more than I do. When people invoke God falsely, and clearly falsely, such as this. What I respect is, fellas in chat, okay? Here's what I respect as an atheist. Did Jesus Christ rise from the dead? Now you can give me your answers in chat. I'll put them on screen.
That says that you shouldn't abuse children, to me.
Okay.
I feel them speaking.
And where did God tell you that through?
Just the learnings that I got through my growing up as a Roman Catholic. That's what I
Bible
learned. Yeah, sure. The Bible, part of the Bible. And then there's aspects that I don't think are biblical, because like,
so now the Bible is true.
I think that the way that I learned religion and God is true. Yeah. It's not all Bible focused.
The Bible is true.
Parts of it I think can be true. Sure.
Well, how do you know which parts are true?
Parts of the Bible can be true. Sure. So if someone says yes, I respect that. If someone says no, I respect that. But you have to start there. That's belief, right? Because we've seen other Christians and they're like very wishy-washy. Like that level of belief, a lot of us atheists, and I have people that have believed but no longer believe in my community, people that are bargaining, right? And, people might watch Jim Bob or Jay Dyer, like, that's too much. That's too much. I need a place to like chill out, landing pad, think about it. And that's what this is, okay? But the people are like, yes, I that's belief. I understand what belief is. I've felt very strong emotions. I've like been in love. I know what it feels like to really desire something. I know what these deep feelings are like. And so when someone truly believes, that I respect, because that's very difficult for me to do, which is an important conversation to have to drive more people toward Christianity.
Yeah, sure. The Bible, part of the Bible, and then there's aspects that I don't think are biblical because, like,
so now the Bible is true.
I think that the way that I learned religion and God is true. Yeah, it's not.
I might have accidentally just started a war in chat. Okay, listen. All right, it's a tall order to believe a man rose from the dead. You got to understand that. And you might say it's not a man, he's God. Okay, you got to understand it's not crazy to go, that's a bit far-fetched. All right, that's belief and faith. So Christians, go easy on people that's like, that's a bit much. I understand that.
All Bible focused.
The Bible is true.
Parts of it I think can be true, sure.
Well, how do you know which parts are true?
God speaks to me.
Okay, what does he say?
He tells me that we should love people that aren't harming other people.
He does, huh?
Yeah, he tells me that. Why are you laughing at that?
He beams it directly into your dome, does he?
Well, how else?
So this is going to seem pedantic, but it's very important because what Andrew Wilson is teaching us is discernment. Even though Homeboy is lying and just invoking God for no reason, Andrew Wilson is showing you how you can read into someone's heart and go, okay, well, let me ask you questions to see if you actually believe in God. Even though he knows he doesn't, even though he knows he's lying, his process to do this is the building block of discernment, which I don't care what you believe in. Discernment is one of the most important qualities you can have in this political atmosphere nowadays.
Just God talk to you.
Okay, which parts of the Bible did God tell you were true?
He didn't tell me any parts of the Bible were true. I think God speaks to people through feelings.
Then why is it that
I grew up religiously centric, and so
then
like,
why is it that you believe some parts of the Bible are true again?
I think that a lot of the Bible has been corrupted by.
See, the Ortho Bros, Newsfist coming in. Thomas the disciple famously doubted the resurrection. I love it. The redemption. Ah, see? That's appealing. See, now for me, that works, right? If I watch Jay Dyer, might be off-putting for me. It works for other people. Fellas, it's a multi-pronged approach, okay? We're all trying to head toward the same general place.
People that are trying to influence the Bible into, taking over and abusing power.
Well, you say a lot. That's pretty specific. That means that there's a lot of books. Which one specifically does God not want in there?
Specific book? I guess I couldn't answer that specific question. But
that's really weird.
I
thought
know.
God told you. Thought God told you it was corrupted.
Well, God doesn't speak to you through words, right? He speaks to you through feelings, no?
So God gave you the feeling of that which books were corrupted.
God gave me the feeling that when I interact with things day to day, I know what is right and what is wrong because of my connection to God growing up, going through different religion schools and learning about Jesus and God through my pastors.
So how do you know what his word is, though?
Because I was taught to be able to interpret his word by my pastors. Yeah.
And where do you interpret his word?
What do you mean specifically where? Like in the
bathroom?
Bible?
I'm curious on, so I know that there's debate of whether or not the layman should be allowed to interpret the Bible and read the Bible. I don't know how that's rectified necessarily, because on one hand, I understand that any moron that reads it can bastardize it and do dumb things with it, which I'm sure other denominations have done. And so sometimes you should rely. I don't know how to. I can understand both arguments.
Oh, I don't interpret it from the Bible. I think that the Bible has been a corrupted piece of, is a corrupted book that men and women have taken advantage of to try to gain more.
And God told you that.
Yeah.
Through feelings.
Yeah.
Now, if another person tells you that God told them through feelings that the Bible is 100% true, what metric would you use to tell them that they're incorrect?
I would just use force doctrine.
Yeah. So you're just going to troll now? That's it.
I mean, listen,
that's
we're being very.
So funny here is
we're being very.
I'm not going to answer these questions, so you're just going to troll, bro.
Well, this is the thing: is that I'm not really trolling. I do genuinely believe in God. I also do genuinely believe that there's a lot of aspects of the Bible that are wrong and that are abusive. I believe that.
Then stop trolling and just answer the question.
Well, no, specifically, I think that it's okay to be gay and gay marriage is fine. I don't think that there's any.
Now, based on what though? What from a Christian?
So he believes in God and believes that gay marriage is fine. Now, as an atheist, and I got this directly from Andrew Wilson, that marriage should just be a religious institution. It should have nothing to do with the government. And then I found out that's what Israel does. I'm like, okay, so it's already being done, dude. Every time.
Ethic informs you that that's the case.
God, I don't think that the Bible's accurate. I mean, there's people who talk about how it's about you shouldn't be sleeping with children instead of gay people. I guess I can go with that, but overall, I think it's wrong. And I don't think God would ever.
Yeah, so what?
Can you believe that the Bible isn't accurate? Right? Can you believe it is? It has to be accurate, but it's been translated. So I don't quite know how to rectify that.
So which books?
Why do I have to? Why do I have to centralize it in a book?
Well, because Where else are you getting the word of God?
In here, my heart.
Okay, then if that's the case, if I say in here, God tells me being a...
So you see why this might seem pedantic, right? But it's really important. This is how, what I really respect Andrew Wilson for, first of all, marrying his wife, doesn't care that she had kids with somebody else. And that's a beautiful story, okay? That's like the pinnacle of redemption. And you can see where other denominations fall short when they were trying to trash Andrew Wilson for doing big boy shit. That's way more difficult to do. And call other man's kids your own. That is like, you believe in something deep and something pure and something incredible to be able to do that. But also, Andrew Wilson just has a way of exhibiting discernment. How do you tell? Like, what was her name? Nyla Ray, when she like was all of a sudden a Christian and she was an OnlyFans lady. And, you know, a lot of Christians were like, no, she's faking. He goes, hold on. We have to give her a chance first. And he gave her a chance for like a week or two. And then she started to like, evangelize or whatever. And he goes, okay, now there's a process to it. Orthos seem to be very dedicated to the process, which I'm starting to notice more and more compared to other denominations. Let me see what I've read. Papa not agreeing to anything. So I read that. Doomsday Machine, $5. Thank you. I pray for someone like Andrew Wilson to come along, and now you come along to cover politics in a funny way. I salute you. God bless RD. I'm helping. I can't be a soldier, but I can act in service. To the chickens, $2. Thank you. Why is their answer always a lack of largest? That's a good question that I can't. Interesting. I'm gonna look into that. Thank you. Imposter, $5. Thank you. Another based St. Christopher take. I don't know who this baby is, but I guess I'll take him across the river. Proceeds to convert a bunch of people. That means something to a lot of other people. And this isn't just for me, it's for other people, so that's good. TK! What's up, dog? $5. Thank you so much. My understanding is anyone can interpret, but only some can teach. This makes sense to me. That is a good... yes, that makes sense. Those that teach are held to a higher standard. Newsfist fact check me here. Very interesting. And I am no, but that makes more sense where it's categorical.
Homosexual's wrong.
Yeah.
What's the metric we use to determine that you're correct?
My God is better, right? Isn't that how we've been doing it for a long time? Like Islam versus Christianity.
So
it's just two different groups of beliefs.
So there's no way to determine that?
Right here, conversation, right?
We're having the conversation. I believe that homosexuality is a sin. You do not.
So let's talk about
God tells you that. I say, okay, God tells me something different. How do we know you're right and I'm wrong?
We don't. Maybe I'm more godly than you. Yeah.
Okay. So
we have to leave it up to a conversation about it. And so far,
so they have no shame. They get unlimited respawns. Okay. Newsfist. I will have to Artie. I will have to tell you about the story of St. Christopher. I will put on my feety pajamas and you can read me a bedtime story. New GM, $5. Thank you so much. No, if you believe we don't have access to a pure translation or that scripture is incorrect, the whole thing collapses under a series of falling dominoes. I think me and you will discuss that at a later date. But yeah, so they can be wrong as many times as they want, and we can't be wrong one time out of 1,000. It's very asymmetrical. Make CVS 3 now, $10. Thank you so much. It's the same process that all humanity is subject to. The process of healing the soul. All people in life are part of the process. Ortho Church is a spiritual hospital. Ooh, baby. See, the puppy dog stuff works a lot better with me, like emotionally. The logical stuff is very useful, and it gets over a lot of roadblocks. Okay. As an atheist on the right wing, the argumentation and the debates are really good at the logical part of my brain. That's like the father. That's like the debate is like the masculinity. The motherly aspects are more so the softer, the stories and the turns of phrase and those analogies. That those two opposing forces, I feel like are the most compelling for, it's ingredients. It's ingredients in this recipe.
We're having a conversation about it.
Has not been going
literally having a conversation about the thing you say we should be talking about.
Yeah,
so
let's talk about why it's wrong to be gay. Let's talk about it. What's wrong with being gay?
Yeah, so let's.
Yeah,
you say that God tells you
Yeah.
That it's right. That it's okay.
Yeah. And some of the way he tells me is that there's no logical reason to ban gay marriage.
Does God tell you that marrying 3 women is okay?
No, but maybe it should be. I never thought about it. It's not something I've pondered
Does
on
God
and
tell
prayed
you
to God
that
about.
marrying 2 women is okay?
It's not something.
All right, dude. We get it. And moseying along. Ooh, what's this little mysterious timestamp I laid down for myself?
We'd have to have a conversation about it, and we'd have to lay out the facts. I think you're a very fact.
We are
person,
having.
so I think
we
that
are
could
having a
probably do
conversation
that.
about it. We're
Yeah,
having a.
yeah.
Why do you
What's
keep
a beautiful
telling me that
thing?
we need to have a conversation about a thing we're having a conversation about?
Well, because you're asking me a question.
If
I'm
you
giving
have a
my
strong
answer.
intuition that this thing is fine, and I have a strong intuition that it's not,
Yeah.
what the fuck makes you right and me wrong?
Well, we'd have to talk about it.
So you're just going to troll again? Back. To trolling.
So just to be clear, Andrew, I'm not trolling. That's my answer, and you don't.
We're
like
just
my
gonna.
answer.
And that's my answer. Any answer is a good one. Any evidence is good evidence, right? This is coming from a person with no discernment. Anything can be anything. It's postmodern. As long as I'm giving you something, it's equal to anything else that can be given to you.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry that you don't appreciate the answers I'm giving you. I'm being honest. I'm not looking to do like a weird debate thing. I'm just being honest.
Okay. That's fine. We just need to have a conversation about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we've been doing for the entirety of our society, is having conversations and then moving forward and changing.
You're right. We should have a conversation about if society should have conversations.
I think that's beautiful. Yeah. I like that.
Let's have a conversation
I think
about
that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how our entire foundation of our society has been structured, right? I mean, we are constantly having conversations.
I'm not sure. I think we need to have a conversation about that.
Okay. When do you want to have that conversation?
I mean, I thought we were going to, but
You should know that Andrew Wilson had 10,000 live watching this. Absolutely incredible. That dude puts up, honestly, he's been around since like the Destiny days. The man's been around for a while. BPF, what's up? And so a lot of the times when you hear the incest argument, this comes from the debates that he had to have when it was just the left that was open to these debates, and they couldn't ground it in anything. I believe that's where the incest debate comes from in these conversations. Because honestly, why would you not want to ask a person on the left what's stopping you? What's stopping you from doing it? It's just not good. Okay, well, what if we vote that it's good? What if the laws change?
maybe we should have a conversation about when we can have a conversation about things.
Maybe we should take it a step further and have a conversation.
Yeah, and can we have a conversation about having conversations about conversations?
Yeah. I think so. We can take it even a step further.
See, I thought during a conversation, instead of saying we should have a
So what's important?
conversation about
The debate bros just love the incest argument. It's because you have to pick something not outrageous, but what did Andrew say? Jarring, right? It has to be a visceral topic. It has to be something that has emotional and moral weight to then really test a person's foundational principles.
strong moral intuition.
Yeah.
That something's fine.
Yeah.
And I have a strong moral intuition, then it's not.
Yeah.
What makes your moral intuition superior to my own? What?
I would think that I'm right. So in my subjective view, I would think that I'm right. Or in my objective view of God, I think I'm right. So then since you have a difference of opinion, we would talk about it and then we would vote.
So by
legislate,
that same
advocate.
metric then,
Yeah.
isn't it the
Can we agree that stalemates is what causes wars?
case that from my subjective view, I'm right? From my subjective view of God, I'm right.
Yeah.
So the threshold breaker, you can't actually tell me that anything I'm saying right now is actually immoral, can you?
I can say it.
Well, so for example, now apply this to incest, right? He just thinks differently. And everyone votes on it. And actually, this is the only time, hopefully, I ever say this. Thank you for reminding me of incest. This is a good point. Hold on. So this is why this is so important. Even though Andrew Wilson's current interlocutor is not saying this. Oh no, I have too many bookmarks. Oh no, Artie and Fist is killing me. There it is. Excellent. Thanks for hanging in there, fellas. So this is why this is so important. Because this is where it leads to. And Andrew Wilson knows this, whether or not they will admit it.
Incest is weird and a little gross, but ethically completely fine if it's in between consenting adults and there's no power creep relations. And the people in those relationships are not having children. I think if you remove those three factors, there's nothing ethically wrong with two consenting adults.
That's where it leads to, fellas. That's why.
Incest.
Thank you. Hopefully it's the last time I say this. Thank you for reminding me of incest. I really appreciate it. Let's go back to it.
I just don't I could say it. Yes, I can say it. And I have and I'm grounded in my God, and you're grounded in your God. And so now
you're the ultimate arbiter of morality, right?
Are you the ultimate arbiter of morality?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So then we're both having
So are you?
conversations about it. I guess so,
Are
by
you?
whatever definition that you make
Yeah.
it. Sure, I
So
guess.
you're the ultimate arbiter
I guess so, by whatever definition you make it. Sure, I guess. You really want to trust that guy around children?
of morality.
I would say not all morality, just like my morality.
Well, which
that I think-
morality are you not the ultimate arbiter of?
Well, we would have a conversation about morality, right?
I know we're having a conversation about morality.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
are you the ultimate arbiter of morality or not?
I guess so. I guess if that's the way that you're defining it, sure.
So then, by that metric, I also would be the ultimate arbiter of morality, and so
Okay.
and around we go. All you've done.
So then how do we get to a conclusion?
Well, that's really a great question.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard?
Yeah. There's nothing going on in there. But like, think of who his wife is. You've seen him. You've seen how they hang out on stream together. That's what his brain's around constantly. Cubics, $5, thank you. How badly do we all want to push down that stupid toy shelf? My toys! My things that are interesting! Leave man with a fire ban. $10. Thank you so much. The goal of a believer is to teach others to teach. I like this. Ephesians, I think I'm saying that right, 4:11, and Timothy 2:2, and Mark 9:38 to 9:40. Jesus approves of unaffiliated teachers. Only those that demean Jesus are rejected as teachers. Now, I like that because I don't demean. I don't blaspheme. I haven't said this publicly. I've been thinking it for 2 months now. I am trying to not take the Lord's name in vain, okay? Because I think about it. I'm like, where did that come from? Why do I say holy shit? Why do I say, oh my God? Why do I say Jesus Christ? It's built in to my brain. But why am I saying that? Why do I say that? I shouldn't say that. It makes no sense to say that. But I can't replace it with something that sounds gay. So I'm under development. So now I've said it out loud. This has been 2 months. I've been thinking about this. I don't want to say it out loud, but now I am. So you now have to call me out for my holy shit, my oh my God, and my Jesus Christs. I had to find a crispy words to replace them with. Something that feels similar, you know? But going back to that chat, the goal of a believer is to teach others to teach. Now, I am not a believer. However, I can help others believe or be in a position to believe.
Of a thing called force doctrine.
So you're saying whoever is stronger than the other person should be able to win? Is that what you're saying?
Well, hang on. Isn't it logical from your perspective?
Mm-hmm.
If you just get done saying to me that you're the ultimate arbiter of morality, and so therefore you can't say that I'm not the ultimate arbiter of morality from my view. I'm just as justified in that as you.
Oh.
Fist, it's actually funny. So Fist said there are far worse ways to take the Lord's name in vain than shouting an oath in the moment. So I'm just doing this like materially. Why do I say that? And so since I'm an atheist, what's put me on a moral path is I realized that when I was single, I would think, well, why not? Well, why wouldn't I do something? Very dangerous mindset to be in. Then I'd be in relationships and then I would go, yeah, but why would I do that? I'm in a relationship. Then growth and emotional development came from when I was single and I would go, well, why would I do that? Right. So this is a very like foundational way that I think that carries me forward morally of why would I do that? And so I can't answer that question. Well, why would I do that? Why would I say, because I'm used to saying it? That's not a good enough reason. Why do I say that? Why do we say that? And so there's no utility. There's more utility in not saying those phrases. Is how I arrive at it materially? I've never said this out loud.
For the threshold breaker to only be force, what else could it be?
Well, what's the force manifest in? Like a conversation, or does it manifest in pistols at dawn?
Well, I mean, it generally manifests in violence.
Okay. What kind of violence? Because I think I could win a fist fight. I don't think I could win a pistol fight personally. I think that you might
the violence can be produced by the state.
Okay.
The violence can be produced by police. It can be produced by military forces.
Okay. But then how about don't
mosey on past the dueling, which he couldn't understand believe it or not, he couldn't understand the concept.
Hold on.
Why is it? Yeah, go ahead.
We have the 10th Amendment doesn't really matter because no state has an individual religion. So if none of them has a specific religion that they're arguing for, we all are going to fall under the separation of church and state. And so that's why gay marriage is allowed.
So all you're doing is giving more power to the federal government. For instance, why can't states outlaw gay marriage if they want to?
I guess it would be against the federal government's establishment of separation of church and state.
All you're doing is giving more power.
Okay. So now
to the federal government over and over and over.
So
and
your
over
argument
again,
now,
even though that was never what the part of the compromise.
we believe in state religions, right? It would just be Christian religions. I'm sure you guys would like to limit the denominations, but are we in unilateral agreement of state religions? Because apparently that's how it used to be. Fellas, you have to listen to. I'll give you Ortho, Catholic, and Protestant. Okay, obviously, to me, my own bias, preferably Ortho. But the history that they go back in the country, we've been taught a fake gay, feminized version of what they call a liberal history, where we used to have state religions, and the states used to have much more autonomy over religion.
Was ever.
So now your issue more than anything else is you're afraid of giving the federal government too much power.
No, there's other moral arguments I can make too. And here's a great moral argument for you.
I'm ready.
If you had two twin brothers and they were in an incestuous relationship, tell me why that's immoral.
Well, they're twin brothers. They probably, I would say that more likely than not.
Okay, fellas. Well, real quick, in a 5-minute break, as is customary. And what I'm going to do is something really mean and irresponsible. I'm going to continue to play this as I'm gone. Okay. And I want you guys to be very polite. Okay. I couldn't imagine she's beautiful. I couldn't imagine what you could possibly say, how you could have any issue with this guy. All right. Now, remember, he's very bad faith. So keep that in mind. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Thanks for hanging out, fellas. I'll be right back.
There's your grandmother.
That's so fucked up.
So today, my uncle was showing me family video, and it was when they bought the house in St. Augustine. So they're on the beach, and my papa's moving the camera around, and he's like, "Oh, when we got whales here," and then pans it to my Grammy, and it's like, "Oh, there they are." Then they're at dinner with their friends. I know, it's terrible. Then they're at dinner with their friends, and this is the thing: is the one friend, the guy's wife is like a big bitch, like she's fat.
Yeah.
And my papa's making fat jokes to my grandmother. Like, it's at the restaurant down the street. You ate there with me, I believe.
Okay.
And there's like, it's on the deck on the swamp.
Oh, in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they're standing on the deck, and he's like, "Oh, I'm surprised this thing is still standing." But he says it to my grandmother, the friend, and the friend's fat wife.
Damn.
And then they're sitting at the dinner table eating.
Well, what did the friend do that had the fat wife?
What do you mean?
He didn't give your papa any shit?
No.
Pussy.
And then they're eating at the dinner table, and he calls her a whale, my Grammy, a whale again.
Damn.
And you see the fat woman is just like, but it's crazy.
That's fucked. I don't like that story.
It's crazy.
It's probably good that I didn't meet him. That's frankly, he passed away. So God bless. But that's fucking crazy. How's everybody doing? Hey, what a crazy! I hated that story so much. It fucking bothers me. How's everybody doing today? Alex Fiction, I saw that in there earlier. So the post of me threatening Ethan Klein did 500 upvotes, I guess, on Reddit. Upvotes. Then Ela Klein saw it, and she posted a story on Instagram that shows that they gave it to their kid, the wheezing doll of their kid, which is cute. And then I reached out to her, and I was like, "Oh, hope it wasn't too much." But general sentiment is like, "Hopefully it wasn't too much." And then I said, Alex Fiction said that this joke was okay. Because the other day we were in the Reddit, and where he showed something on Reddit. He's like, "Oh, I don't know if they're gonna take this down because sometimes the monitor's sensitive about the coughing thing." I'm like, "Oh fuck, did I like upset this guy? I don't actually want to like make him feel bad." And he's like, "No, it should be fine." I was like, "All right." So Alex Fiction gave me the green light, so I blamed it on him. What do you think about that?
I'm over it. I'm completely over it.
You're over Ethan Klein? What? If he's talking about buying Creator Clash, if he does that, should I announce? Because I feel like it'd be really good to have a boxing announcer that doesn't understand boxing. Whoa, that's a hit! That guy just got punched in the fucking face. Could you imagine hearing something like that? Just so normal.
That would be fun because then we go to Disney.
Yeah, that's true.
Boogie Boogie Bash.
Okay.
Booger Bash.
Incredible. That's incredible.
I hate the jokes though. I think they're very rude and not funny.
Why?
Because it's not a joke. This is what we teach at work. If you're the only one laughing, then it's not a joke.
Well, here's what I teach at my job. You have to be your own biggest fan. I'm not. You have to be your own biggest fan. And I am my biggest fan. Except for your grandmother. Apparently she's a whale. So, sorry. She's a big fan of me, though. But that was a joke. Sorry,
he's his biggest fan. I hear him laughing alone when I'm upstairs. And he's usually watching videos of himself.
Listen, I'm not... Okay, just to be clear, I don't like the way you said that because it makes it seem like I'm like really vain. I have to watch videos of myself for work. Okay? My editor, Olga, sends me clips.
And he goes...
She does a good job finding good clips. And when I watch them, I giggle because they're funny. I'm funny. And it doesn't matter if I'm not funny or whether I'm funny or not. Some people think I'm funny, and my confidence is what makes me money, right? Like I can be like so cringe to everybody except for like 10 people. Those 10 people are fueling my world right now. Okay. So, yeah. What are you doing?
I'm listening to a song from Zumba.
In your head?
Yeah.
What song? One day we should record. One day I'm gonna record you doing Zoom and put it on like Instagram, or I'm gonna put it on this podcast.
Don't put it on Instagram.
What about this podcast? You look good when you were today. I went to the gym, and my wife was apparently really tired. We went to the gym, and I had to walk past her multiple times. Like they're in like this, excuse me,
aquarium.
Yeah, or whatever area where they dance. I had to walk past like 5 times because there was like, I was missing. There's whatever. And I looked at her. I was like, wow, she knows what she's doing. And what's so. She looks like she dances really well. Like she hits the moves. Like she got the rhythm. She's like, I was watching her like tiptoe, like hit her tiptoes, like dance, like
ding, ding.
Yeah, like very dainty, but like very like powerful at the same time. And I see the woman next to her, and like she's nice looking, and she's like a little heavier than my wife, and she's doing it. Do it, lady, but she's not doing it that great. So my thought in my head was like, wow, like you, like good for you.
Like you made it here today.
You made it here today. That's a beautiful thing. And then my wife says to me, she's like, well, that's the other Zumba instructor from another day, and she was very tired that day. So I kind of feel stupid, but I didn't say it to that woman.
Can I tell you what happened today, though?
Yeah.
I was so pissed.
Let me do Zumba with you.
What?
Should we do Zumba together and record it?
I was thinking, because it's funny, like there was this like meathead kind of guy looking into the gym the other night, and so Brittany ran out and grabbed him and brought him into the class and made him dance.
Oh, is it because he was being a creepy fuck?
He was like staring in, so she was
That's
like, "Come
funny.
on!"
That's
and he was a
W,
good
Brittany.
sport. He actually came in and like danced.
Well, probably because he was jacking off, so he was coming.
But I was like, I wonder if like they ever thought that like if you were looking in.
I don't stare through.
No, I know you don't.
So I'm not fucking.
And I think that like most people know that you're my significant other, my husband was be.
Oh boy!
But I was like, oh my god, he should come in.
Interesting, very interesting. I don't know why he stopped doing that. Seemed like it was going so well. So, fellas, let me raise a point to you about the whole incest thing, okay? You are a good and moral people. Now, it is my opinion that the devil will act in the most degenerate ways possible for you to shield your eyes. And when you shield your eyes, you can no longer see what they are doing. And so they act in darkness. What I like about the Ortho Bros is they do not pearl clutch with these conversations. They directly engage with this degeneracy head on. And I guess, well, Joel Webben does too. I shouldn't just say, but it's what I see. It's my own bias. But they act as degenerately as humanly possible, so you look away.
Because of some kind of inappropriate relationship happening.
There's no inappropriate.
There would most likely be an inappropriate relationship.
But most likely doesn't mean has to be. So
that's true.
In this case, there's not. So what's wrong with it?
Oh my God! Oh my Lord! No, not Lord. Oh my God! My God! I don't want to say gosh. Jeepers. Still kind of saying it, but you did remind me of something. Speaking of great thumbnails, this is real. This is in the thumbnail of this very video. This is really what he looks like.
Man. So we'll find out.
Look at his face. Wait for it.
I think I got you.
Look at his mouth.
Wow, what?
Ready? Look at him. Look at yourself. He's still going. Duh. I love that. Give me it one more time. Yeah, that's who we're dealing with. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Well, in most instances,
why can't they go get married?
Well, because they're gay. Gay people shouldn't be able to get married, right?
Can you answer my question?
Let me establish what I'm saying, and then we can be more specific.
Okay, so let's start out with the general reason. I think it's extraordinarily unlikely, and I know that we're going to get into a specific scenario, but I think it's extraordinarily unlikely that two young people, in this instance, two twins, would have some kind of a romantic and sexual relationship without there being some kind of an issue with their upbringing that would, of course, force them to do so. I would say most people, there's like some kind of a biological attunement to not be attracted to your own family. It sounds like there was grooming involved, and so that's
so what? Answer the question now, please.
I thought that you were.
Now, it's funny when it comes to the same-sex incest argument. He says there has to be grooming involved, which is the argument with homosexuality. Can we agree on that? For some reason, he's going to invoke grooming when it comes to same-sex incest, and that's the only way it can happen. But oddly enough, some people are... So if some people are just born gay, how are they just not born incestuous? Well, grooming. Well, that's the argument for how homosexuality occurs, and we've seen it in society.
Situation.
I thought you were a fan of nuance. I'm sorry. I just wanted to explain that position.
So I'll still be in your position. In most cases, I don't think that would happen. That's nice. So anyway, to the case I'm talking about, though.
So in this specific case, two brothers, they want to fuck each other.
Well, not just that, they want to get married.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't be able to get married because they're siblings.
Why?
I think we should have a pretty strong, affirmation against family members getting married because it's bad. Because in most instances, because it's bad.
Does it say in the... So I know homosexuality is in the Bible. Does it mention incest in the Bible and to not do that? Because I as an atheist, I don't know what to say. I honestly would love to, like... It would be an honor to talk to fucking Jim Bob and have him berate me, okay? Because I've come from the fucking commie left, dude, okay? A very resilient person. I love being trashed and berated. It's very funny to me. Gone to comedy shows. I've had crowd work done on me. And I would love for him. I'd love to have a conversation where he doesn't pull any punches and just ask me these questions and I have nothing to say for myself. Because I can take it. It would be hilarious.
Because in most instances,
it's bad.
Because in most instances, there's going to be grooming involved into this situation.
Yeah, but what about the instances where there's not?
Unfortunately, in a large society of like 330 million people, we can't always legislate in favor of everybody.
The outlier.
Well, exactly.
Can't legislate. So how many? So gays are 2% of the population. Why are we fucking legislating for the outlier there?
There's no legislation against straight marriages. If you legislate for gay marriages,
if your entire argument is that we should have some sort of institutional integrity when it comes to marriage, I can make the same exact argument for gay marriage.
Why? You don't lose anything. I don't understand how that's the
You don't lose anything by two brothers getting married either.
Well, no, you create an opportunity for there to be more grooming and incest when it comes to people's relationships by justifying civil marriage.
Well, isn't there some grooming that happens in the homosexual community, Papa Gunt? Couldn't that same argument... I'm actually surprised that Andrew didn't go to that, but I mean, there's so many things wrong that Papa Gunt says. You can only focus on one at a time, but it's like that would be the parallel argument.
If that's the case, and you're just saying that that's the case because it's more likely, then it's more likely with gays too.
Significantly more likely.
Significantly more likely with gays too. Yes.
What's more likely that they're gonna
abuse children?
It's more likely that gay people abuse children.
Gay men. Yeah.
Gay men specifically. So gay women, we should be able to let them get married, but not gay men.
Well, then no, they abuse children on average more too. Yeah.
Do they? Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Do you think that we should out?
Well, now, religious fellas, this is important. You think the incest conversation is dumb, repetitive. However, I as an atheist, I'm asking you for like, okay, well then what do we appeal to know that that is wrong? Where does it come from? Right? We need to have these answers. I'm trying to get us all on the same page. Use Andrew Wilson as the perfect person to use as a conduit, but I'll listen to him sometimes and he'll imply that he's right, but I won't know like what he's appealing to in his religion to say that that is wrong and not allowed.
Why men? Because they typically murder more or rape more?
That would be where your argument would go, huh?
No, it's not. That's where your argument's going.
No, you
just said because gay people. Hold on. You talk. Wait. Hold on. Let me just paraphrase. You just said that you don't think gay people should get married or be able to have kids or whatever, or in their household because they're more likely to be abusive. And I'm saying
that's an entailment of your worldview.
That's what you said. And I'm saying more men are more likely to rape. So by that logic, we should just castrate
that would
men.
Be an entailment. You're making my argument.
No, I'm not making your argument.
We're making each other's arguments right now. Okay. I have Leviticus 18:6 through 18. Somebody could possibly post that as I'm watching this just to understand the context. Be much appreciated. Thank you.
No, this is what your argument is that you don't think gay people should be able to get married because you think that they're going to be more abusive in their relationships.
Let's try this. I'll answer yes or no to each question that you have.
I don't want to do that.
If you do that,
I don't want to do that.
No, I'm not going to answer your fucking questions.
I don't want to do that. We should answer each other's questions and we should explain our positions because it seems like you want to hide behind this.
Let me walk through your logic here. Why shouldn't two gay brothers be able to get married?
Because I don't like gay people getting married.
So back to trolling.
I think that you're putting me into a situation where you're trying to be intentionally unreasonable.
Well, you don't have an answer. You don't have an argument. So then we ridicule. This is Saul Alinsky. Just ridicule the other person. We have nothing to say.
And that's nice. Can you answer my question? Why not?
Well, I did answer the question. I think in the overwhelming...
if I can show you cases of non-reproductive incest and then petitioning to get married, that's no longer unrealistic, right?
I think that in the overwhelming majority of situations when it comes to any type of incest, some kind of grooming is going to be involved, even if it's going to be two twins, because their parents didn't stop that, right? And so allowing them to get married...
couldn't we say the same thing about homosexuality? I mean, I'm going crazy here. Is that kind of the parallel argument? Fisty baby. Leviticus 20:11 through 21. Penalties for prohibited relations. This restates many of the Leviticus 18 prohibitions, but adds punishments such as death or being childless with one's father's wife. Interesting. Thank you for that context.
In a case where that's not present.
Hold on. Again, you can't legislate. There might be people who drunk drive better than they don't drive. Like they might drunk drive better than sober drive, but we can't say they're allowed to drunk drive, right?
Anything could be anything.
Where there are extreme instances where some things might be okay, but generally speaking, we're a society of 330 million people. We have to legislate for the masses.
So let me help you out.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I need any help.
But you don't want to normalize this bad thing.
Yeah.
What you haven't established though that it's bad. So
I didn't. But so do you think?
Excellent. Tim Hale, J6, baby. At some point, me and him have to talk about Jake Lang. At some point. This guy, Tim Hale over here, has the inside scoop. This is, for all of your Fed discernment, I defer to Tim Hale for Fed discernment. Leviticus 18:6, no one is to approach any close relative to have sexual relations. I am the Lord. It's pretty clear cut. I would love to know. Oh, well, close relative. Yeah, okay. Right. Okay, but it's there. Yeah.
No, hang on.
Okay,
you agree with me that heterosexual people can be groomed?
Can be groomed, sure. Heterosexuals can be groomed.
And are?
Some of them, sure, yeah.
So and that they can suffer from extreme abuse?
Sure, yeah.
Would you legislate that heterosexuals who have suffered from abuse and have been groomed ought not be able to get married?
No.
Then why would you do that for two twin brothers, even though the situation is parallel?
Because there is in the majority of situations, this situation is not parallel. In the majority of situations, an incestual relationship is going to come from some kind of abuse, like grooming abuse.
But in cases where it doesn't, why shouldn't they be able to get married?
But you can't legislate on hyperspecifics. And
yes, you can.
Not really.
Yes, really.
Okay. Could I have an example? I'm a little curious.
Oh, you have to be 18 years old to have sex with an adult. That's pretty hyper fucking specific.
Wait. Sorry. I'm gonna. Okay. So you're saying there's a world where 17-year-olds could date like an adult?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's hyper specific to me. Maybe that's true, but we don't know that, so we make the standard 18. You just strengthened my argument.
How?
Because you're saying that there is a world where 17-year-old minors can marry adults and be okay.
I love that pause after he asks.
Because you're saying argument.
How?
Because you're saying that there is a world where 17-year-old minors can marry adults and be okay. My position is that's not possible. Hold on. In my opinion, that's not true. But even if it was, it would be such a hyper-specific small amount of people that it's not worth making a mass legislation on.
Oh, we do. We make hyper-specific legislation
about your just be absolutely clear. Your example disagreed with you.
No, it doesn't disagree with me.
It did.
No, it doesn't. Why couldn't you make hyper-specific legislation that said...
And so, I mean, as an atheist, I would have to defer to... It's not like I don't have examples of how these things don't work out very well. John Money would be an excellent example. Also, I mean, what I would really do if I was really debating this as to how I could do this without... as an atheist, I have been subjected to an environment of degeneracy that none of you care to hear about, okay? Oh, I've heard stories. I've talked to these people behind closed doors. There is a very low succession rate of no abuse in a lot of these situations, okay?
Okay, sure. Twin brothers can't get married usually.
So you think that are you saying
investigated and there's no grooming?
Are you saying that there should be like a consent test for 17-year-olds to see if they can marry adults? Is that what your position is?
What the fuck? That has nothing to do with what I'm asking you. So back to this.
You brought up 17-year-olds being able to get married to adults.
This is what's so funny is because Waffle said already as a DJ and get him. This is what's so odd in the last year of having more religious people in my community. So before being more right-wing, even 5 years ago or whatever, or 10 years ago, me being like surrounded by like BDSM sexual degeneracy, fellas, I'm running through things in my head to tell you that I'm not going to tell you. But, you know, me saying the wrong words, you know, me being like a prude or whatever and thinking all that stuff's really weird because it was hyper normalized. But now I can say really crazy offensive stuff and people are like, yeah, no sexual degen stuff. I was kind of supposed to be here the whole time, you know? I'm an unbelievably resilient person to end up at this point. And so if you just tell me to like follow Christianity, I still have a lot of fight in me, you know? I need, like, the wall is slowly coming down, but I've only had me in the face of all of this horrific degenerate stuff I've been surrounded by.
No, I'm saying that
You did.
inside of a hypothetical of a specific legislation, they could, sure.
Yeah, how would
Not
you?
that I'm
So how
advocating
would you make that distinction? Like in this instance, there's a
We
17-year-old.
would look at their fucking ID and say, how old are they? What do you mean? What
Well,
are
no, you're saying
about?
a 17-year-old. Oh, okay, sorry. What I think you're saying is that in most instances, 18-year-olds should be the ones to get married, but there are some instances where you think 17-year-olds would be able to consent in the way that an 18-year-old can.
No.
Oh,
You
okay.
asked,
What are you saying?
can you legislate that 17-year-olds can get married?
That's,
Yes.
I didn't ask that at all.
Well, what do you ask?
He didn't. Yeah, I didn't ask that. You try to make a point. It's as if Papa Gunt just, you know, molested a child and you're trying to talk to him about it. And he's like, hey, I'm not trying to talk about that. Well, I know, but we're trying to get to the root of the issue. It's quite the issue. Theodore McCarthy, Leviticus 18 outlaws sex with close relations, aunts and uncles, and even step family. There we go. Very nice. 1 Corinthians 5:1 affirms these prohibitions in the New Testament. Excellent. See, we're helping. Good. So now, when there's an incest argument, and if someone's going to try to be like, "Oh, where do you get that from?" It's more specific. I'd want to see it. I know it's there, right? Now I'm not just like believing that it's there. It's actually there. Stackademics Agent, $5. Thank you. I want to take this chance to thank God he's keeping me from becoming an atheist out of frustration for how much you guys suck at defending yourselves. I'm getting there. I'll be able to make the atheist right-wing position, right? Where you're used to hearing atheist in opposition, okay? The atheism that I'm developing is not in opposition. It is in service of, I'm overcoming objections. I've told you this, okay? We're trying to sell Christ over here. If you guys have ever been in sales, you have to already know what the objection's going to be and how to counter the objection. Waffle, $5. Can you pause the stream? I need to grab dinner. Thanks. You guys are weird, and I love it. You make me feel less weird, which is difficult to do.
Asking then.
I wasn't asking anything. Just to be absolutely clear, you brought up. We talked about age of consent.
Yeah,
You brought up
I'm just asking.
Yeah,
why
yeah,
can't you could have specific legislation for this? Yes, of course.
You know, hold on. You can't have hyper-specific legislation for everything. So I'll just lay it out again. Maybe maybe it's me that's confused. Let me just lay it out one more time. Maybe if I say it out loud, I'll realize I'm wrong. We said that there's an instance of like 2 incestuous brothers.
I'm not answering the just
There is, which is fine. But this is an important point. I don't blame you, Artie. I may have seen some shit in my life, but none of it really compares to randomly finding a black woman giving birth in a tub like it's just a normal day. Well, if you're a hard R feller, that video's there. I'm scrolling through Facebook. I'm making a video about a black guy, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's just scroll through Facebook. And it's a black woman giving birth in a tub by herself. Thank you for that.
anything to not answer the question. You just do anything to not answer the question.
Understanding. I'm trying to restate what we're talking about so that we
possibly one of the most bad faith interlocutors. You just
that's-
refuse to answer questions. There's 2 twin brothers. We can pass hyper-specific legislation. We do it all the time.
Okay.
Tell me why it is that it's immoral for them to get married if there's no grooming present. Why?
So I just want to go through it again, just to be clear, because I feel like maybe I'm missing.
It has to be grooming.
Listen, if you're busy or you're impatient and you don't
feel
want
about
to have a conversation,
homosexuality.
that's fine.
I don't even. Yeah,
But
let's have a conversation.
But what we were talking about is there's an instance, and the overwhelming majority of situations, two family members is pretty much almost always going to be some kind of a familial grooming and abuse. You're saying, well, what about instances where it's not happening? So like the 0.1% of an instance. Okay. What I'm saying is you can't really figure out a way to figure out that that's not true.
Look at Andrew Wilson
and
right now.
You can't legislate for that hyper-specific aspect.
Psychic
then you brought up
damage.
17-year-olds, and I'm saying 18 is the age of consent. What I interpreted is you're saying that there are instances where 17-year-olds can consent like 18-years can, right? But I would say,
recap. Can you answer my question now?
But so like how can a 17-year-old, how would you figure out that a 17-year-old would have the same ability?
It's irrelevant.
Why is it
2 twin brothers?
I'm not,
you legislate that if they're not groomed, they can get married.
How do you know that they weren't groomed?
You just run an investigation.
How
And
do you
go off the
know?
best information you got.
Why can't we do this with the gays, by the way? How do you know that they weren't groomed? Odd how we just dropped that logic in that situation.
I think it would probably come back that they were pretty much always groomed.
And they just tell you we weren't.
So what you're saying is in this scenario that's never going to like really exist. What the
It
answer
exists
is
right now. I can give you cases of incest all over the country where they petition to the government to be married and it's non-reproductive.
Well, that doesn't mean
You see, he's ready. He already has tangible, material, real-world examples of people trying to marry their direct blood-related family.
They claim
that doesn't
they
mean
claim
that
that they just fell in love. They claim that they fell in love. Yeah,
No.
and you can't make arguments where we don't do pre-crime. You can't be like, because in many of these situations there's grooming. In the situations where there's not, that means it's okay. So tell me why it's immoral. Why is it immoral?
This is uncomfortable. Can't 17-year-olds consent in the USA? We still allow child marriages in the United States, just so you guys know. Isn't that uncomfortable? It's true. Check your state. Yeah, then I'm asking you to check. Yeah. Do that not on regular Google. But I'm pretty sure it does still exist across the country.
Yeah.
For two twin brothers to get married. Why?
I've explained that like 6 times. So I'm not going to.
No, you haven't. You just keep recapping the fucking conversation.
Okay.
There's two
I think
brothers,
if you're
there's
not
no grooming,
if you're
why
not
can't they get married?
yeah, if you're not satisfied with the answers I've given you, then unfortunately I don't think any
You
other
haven't given me
explanation is going
any.
to. Okay.
There's no answer. Why?
If you
Why?
don't feel that those are satisfactory answers, then I guess the word's going to be on an impasse.
There it is. There's the weeds. There's the stalemate. Stalemates are how wars start.
No answer.
I gave you a pretty in-depth answer.
What is the? No, you didn't actually give me any.
Okay.
You just recap the conversation we.
Oh, no. Let me clear something up. I'm not talking about age of consent. Age of consent is different than marrying, just so you guys know. Okay? I don't know if we're ready for that conversation about what laws are on the books in this country.
Already had.
Mhm.
What is the specific reason? Just summarize it for me.
I
The
did
specific
multiple
reason.
times.
Summarize it in like 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Why two twin brother can't get married if no groom?
I answered that question like 3 times. So
Answer it again.
I'd rather not. I
Please,
don't think it's going to be
please.
productive. Yeah.
No, it's the most productive. Answer the question.
I don't think it is. Are you saying we should make incest legal?
I'm asking you why is that what's the moral reason that you can object?
I
to twin
already
brother?
answered the question.
You didn't answer. You didn't.
I
You're
did.
lying. You're
I'm
lying
not
through your
lying. Maybe
teeth.
I'm
You never
wrong,
answered.
but I did answer the question.
No, you're purposely obfuscating. Answer the question.
I answered it.
Why is it immoral, dude?
I answered the question. In every
So answer it
every
again.
instance is going to be a product of some kind of grooming.
Every instance.
Pretty
now?
much every instance. In the overwhelming majority of instances, yeah. That was
Any
my
instances
answer.
where there is no grooming.
You wouldn't be able
Why?
to figure that out to a satisfactory degree. In the same way that you
Okay,
wouldn't be able to figure out that
I'll tell
17-year-olds
you
can
what.
consent like 18-year-olds, like you were saying
I'll tell
before.
you what. I'll give you $10,000 right this second if you can prove to me that every instance of two twins who wanted to get married is going to be grooming. Go ahead and demonstrate that.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's an
can't.
unrealistic question, yeah.
No, it's not unrealistic.
Yeah.
You actually haven't answered the question.
Well, I did. What I said is that
You
there's
just
no
said- you
way
just
to
said,
figure
I don't
out.
think we can prove. Why
Yeah.
do they need? First of all, why do they need to prove to you that there was no grooming if they
Because
want to get married?
Grooming is bad. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, but who are they getting groomed by?
Their parents.
Wait, twins are getting.
The example is supposed to be with no grooming, by the way, and he directed it back toward grooming. Later, Fist, thanks for hanging out, everyone. Much appreciated with your wise wisdom. You should also know child marriage is legal in 34 U.S. states, varying minimum ages and exceptions. States with no minimum age, when all exceptions are considered: California, Mississippi, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. This is why this conversation is very important. It leads down a dark road, but that's reality, and reality is very dark.
Getting married because their parents groomed them to get married?
Yeah. So the general
What are you
scenario.
basing that on? You just made
Okay.
it up.
Yeah. So anyway.
What are you basing that on?
In the majority of like familial situations, if you have
Yeah.
2 siblings that are comfortable with having sex with each other, it's because their parents allowed it in some capacity or some other outside influence
Prove
allowed
it.
some kind of grooming outside of it.
Prove it right.
Oh, you mean like being gay? Well, why is that? Why are the rules changed? Why are there? Because they have their own month? Because there's the word demon in Pride Month. Is that why?
Wait a second.
I guess you have to just appreciate
You just made it
mental
up.
health. You think I made
When you
that
talk
up?
about grooming,
So do you
the
think that
groomer is the person who's usually having sex with the other person?
Well, it's
You're
interesting
not
that you
usually
well you
being
said you
groomed by external sources.
so does the word
That's
usually
not
means
the case.
always or
Yeah, I'm not even accepting usually here.
you just said usually?
You know, from your view, it's not
That's
even
my,
usually.
it's not really my what? You said
He doesn't have a
usually
view.
the person that's groomed is groomed by the physical, I guess, sexual abuser.
Yeah, the person who wants to have sex with them. Yeah,
Yeah,
They're not
and-
groomed by external forces.
Yeah,
Usually.
like a father can or a mother can groom 2 kids to have sex with each other. Yes.
Yeah, but they don't. That's what do you mean? That's rare.
That's what
It is rare, but there's also it's very rare to be attracted to your sibling.
Two twins who wanted to get married. Two twin brothers who wanted to get married.
Yeah.
Why is it that you would just instantly default to their parents groomed them?
Because there's I don't think that there's any meaningful way that two people that grew up together that are twins would have a sexual relationship with each other without some kind of external force.
They just really want to.
Yeah, probably because they were groomed as kids to want that.
No, prove it.
Same with being gay.
Prove what?
Yeah, exactly. If
you're asking me to groom kids to try to show you example? That's a little crazy.
If I tell you that most homosexuals,
Yeah.
report that there was abuse in their past or some sort of grooming, they shouldn't be able to get married?
Well, just because you were abused or groomed doesn't mean that you would make a bad parent.
I didn't ask about parenting. I asked about marriage.
You're saying that most gay. So just to be clear, you would agree with the same thing when it comes to straight marriages? Because what I'm saying explicitly is that the majority of like incestual relationships, like grooming is going to be involved. That's not the case for gay people.
Yeah, but you just made that up, right?
What did I make up?
That the majority of incestuous relationships with twin brothers would be due to grooming.
There would be some kind of grooming involved because that's not something that's going to happen.
You literally just made that up.
If you say so, okay.
And not only that, then here's my counterfact.
Let's hear it.
If it's the case then that most homosexuals report some sort of grooming when they were young, we should prevent them from getting married too then, right?
Well, that's not true.
If it were the case. No, but if it were the case. Hang on, but if it were the case.
Okay, are we ready? Who's ready for breakfast? Do we think Papa Gun would know how he would feel if he didn't eat breakfast?
If it's the case then that most homosexuals report some sort of grooming when they were young, we should prevent them from getting married too then, right?
Well, that's not true.
If it were the case. No, but if it were the case. Hang on, but if it were the case. But if it were.
But it's not.
But if it were.
But it's not.
But if it were though.
But it's not.
Yeah, but the entailment of your logic, if it were.
But it's not.
But if it were.
But I'm having like a real, we're having like a real life scenario. This is not, it's not something. Well, I know, but
if it were the case that most homosexuals reported that they had some sort of grooming or abuse when they were young, then that would mean that we should prevent them from getting married, right?
But it's not true.
Off of the top of your head, do you have a more gratuitous example of not knowing how you would feel if you ate breakfast? Think about it. This has to be. Look at Andrew Wilson right now. Look at his cigarette. Look at the look in his face. I don't think Andrew Wilson has ever encountered this level of breakfasting before. I love it. I can't. I'm so sorry. I've never. Give me another example.
But if it were.
But it's not.
But if it were though.
But it's not.
Yeah, but the entailment of your logic, if it were.
Now just look at Andrew Wilson.
But it's not.
But if it were.
But I'm having like a real, we're having like a real life scenario. This is not, it's not some,
well,
I know, but
if it were the case that most homosexuals reported that they had some sort of grooming or abuse when they were young, then that would mean that we should prevent them from getting married, right?
But it's not true.
Yeah, but if it were true.
It's not.
Yeah, but if it were, can you answer my question?
I am. It's not true. It's an unrealistic scenario. It's an entirely unrealistic, unproductive scenario that doesn't happen. So it's not. There's no reason. I am answering the question. You just don't like my answer.
I didn't ask you about the truth of it.
Yeah.
I asked you.
Well, I'm answering with the truth of it.
Question. If it were true.
Yeah.
If it were true.
But it's not, and it's unrealistic. It's not. It's not comparable to life.
Right now?
Yeah, no. But if it were true that most homosexuals experience grooming or some sort of sexual abuse, would it be the case that they shouldn't get married?
No.
No what?
No, they should still be able to get married.
Okay, then your whole position just fell flat.
But it's not. It doesn't fall flat at all. Because in my
one
sec. In my scenario, these two kids are groomed together to fuck each other, to engage in.
Let's hear that again. I'm sorry. What is your scenario that he's making up? By the way, he's making this up in his brain. In his scenario, why is this your scenario, Papa Gun? Why do you? He's so focused on the grooming at the wrong time. He's almost there.
Okay, then your whole position just fell flat.
But it's not. It doesn't fall flat at all. Because in my one sec. In my scenario, these two kids are groomed together to fuck each other, to engage in sexual relationships. In the other situation, it is a gay person that was groomed externally from the other partner. So it's not even close to comparable.
All you're doing is saying the explanation for the behavior in this one case is grooming. So therefore,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's grooming.
So therefore,
I'm saying it's grooming towards a specific, like their own sibling.
Yeah.
Like the other. What do you mean? So they were groomed into wanting to be with their own sibling.
Yeah. So these guys are groomed into wanting to have sex with men.
Who is? Gay people?
Let's say if it were the case,
are you saying
say that they were groomed at a young age to have sex with other men, and they say that that's part of what makes them gay? Those guys should not be getting married, right?
I don't think that's happening. Oh, hold on. Let me just get this scenario. You're saying that it's a situation where a kid is getting groomed into having sex with men, so they shouldn't get married. No, I think they should still be able to get married, just not to their groomer. I guess would be the answer.
Okay, so why
again,
can't
just to
the
be
two
absolutely
Now, in this situation, he had said that the parents groomed the incest brothers, right? So, according to him, since they didn't groom each other, then he should be okay with them getting married.
clear,
brothers
just to be absolutely clear. We're talking about one scenario where there's two people groomed, two siblings groomed into wanting to be with each other, versus a gay person that was groomed to have sex with men. But like it's as long as they're not married,
Yeah,
their
so why
groomer.
should one get married? Not the other. That makes no sense.
Because it makes perfect sense. I think you know that. Because
No,
one
it doesn't
instance,
make any
okay,
sense.
sorry. In one instance, it's two brothers being groomed into fucking each other. And the other instance, it is a gay person, I guess, gay kid being groomed into wanting to sleep with or forced to be sleep with men. And then
This is too perfect. I don't even know if Homeboy knows this. Gabagoo, gabagoo, gabagoo for $20, mate. Thank you so much. How would you feel if you didn't have second breakfast? I don't know if you know this, but Andrew Wilson says in this very conversation that that's what his chat said. That is what his chat said. Great minds think alike. That's hilarious, dude.
growing up and then wanting to marry a different man.
Yeah, the twin brothers are grown up and they want to marry each other.
I think that you're understanding the specific thing I'm saying, but you're just intentionally ignoring it.
No, the twin brothers can't get married unless they're adults.
That's not
so
what
they're
I'm saying.
adults
That's not
and
what
they
I'm
want to
saying.
get married. What's the bar here? Why are we barring them?
But that's
from
not
doing
what
that?
I'm saying, because they were specifically groomed
Let's
as
scooch
fam.
Let's scooch it forward a little bit. We get it. We get the point. Man's got a thick skull.
Left, so
yeah, I mean, listen, if you have anything else to
there's
go
some
to issue
other,
with, we can talk
there's some
about
other there's some other
Sure,
shit
sure.
that you've said here. Hang on.
Let's see it. Oh, we only got through like 2, right?
Yeah. I do have one question the chat keeps asking.
Sure, let's hear it.
How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning?
I'd probably be hungry. Yeah, I'm a little hungry right now, honestly.
Okay.
Is that like
So he knew what he was doing the entire time. Fellas, can't we agree? He good and well knew what he was doing the entire time.
a meme?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to say, I don't know how I feel. I ate breakfast this morning. Is that like what the meme is?
Well, they were being meaner than that. So
well, I assume that. I appreciate you filtering your chat for me. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. They actually said second breakfast.
There it is. I don't know if you knew that or not, but he gets hit with the second breakfast. Sir, the second breakfast has hit the tower.
That was
well, so far I had one breakfast, unfortunately. I have a lot of calories left today, though, so I'm probably going to eat a good amount later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I was trying to be nice. I wasn't. You know.
Well, I think that was a little funny. No,
it was funny.
No,
I'm not. I mean, it was funny for sure.
It was
Totally
silly,
fat faith.
you know?
Fat faith
Yeah,
argument.
so hang on a second. Let me pull these up.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, so this was over the title of the video,
All right.
Rape Apologia.
Yeah. Oh, is
Yeah,
this the same
can you
video?
tell me- can you tell me when I ever was an apologist for rape
Oh,
ever?
well, I think I brought that up before. The whole thing where you think that like women should be appreciated for men for not like raping them. I think that that's some level of rape apologia. I think that the other thing I conceded that was out of context though earlier, right? The Oliver one.
Right. Yeah, but to be consistent inside of the worldview, I just want you to remember that when you repeat this video, you said that they should be thankful for that.
I never said that.
You did. You said they should be thankful for that. But that's actually, you're right. You
Well,
did say that.
what I actually said, what I believe I actually said, maybe I'm wrong, is that like if men created the system, why would they be thankful to men for removing the system?
Nope. But
I'm pretty
you'll
sure I
see.
said that.
I'll send you the clip of you conceding.
I
that
appreciate
point.
that. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So then, hang
That
on,
point
let
or
me
in
look
this
at
specific
the
instance,
one.
or okay. Do you have any clips that are from like I remember you commented on one of the things you commented on, I think, or the thing you commented on, excuse me, was a clip where I talked about how if you think that trans people are mentally ill, then you have to come to terms with the concept that you believe in a magical apple curse. Did you want to bring that one up? That was the one that seemed to get
So
you.
he thinks he's going to have Andrew Wilson dead to rights on magical apple curse. He thinks Andrew Wilson's never heard that. This is his ace in the hole.
To want to have this conversation with me.
No, that was just more of your fucking sniping.
Well, what do you think about that take?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's rational for you if you don't if you think that God can't make snakes talk even though you believe in him, right?
Is the story of Adam and Eve?
That's brilliant. Now, Papa Gunn made the mistake of acting like he believes in God and says that he believes in God. And then that actually gives Andrew that's quick goat thinking right there. To go, well, you believe in God, so don't you believe that?
Like a fact? I thought that was more of like a story.
Did
Generally
God tell you that?
Yeah, he did. He told me that. Google told me that, actually. My understanding is that most religious people say the story of Adam and Eve is just a story and is not actually like some kind of historical accuracy.
But God told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy. You should get to know him.
How did your God put evolution in place?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
From a single cell organism?
Yeah, why not? I think God's capable.
Also, fellas, I have been loving Jim Bob's debunking of evolution. Oh man. Oh, he is having a generational run on debunking evolution. If you haven't checked it out, you just go to his channel and just go to any of the evolution debates that he has. Oh man, he makes a really strong case that evolution ain't a thing.
Well, something that complex.
And God, and the Big Bang is what created the universe.
Maybe God did the Big Bang. Yeah, I think that makes sense to me.
Yeah, maybe,
And scientists agree with that, right?
Scientists agree with what?
That there was a Big Bang in evolution.
Generally speaking, I think so. That's the most compelling theory that they have. Yeah.
This is why I say that, like, there's no agnostics. I know that there is, okay? It's a rhetorical move that I do. But I say there's no agnostics. You're either an atheist or a theist. You either believe or you don't. Because this middle ground, this wishy-washy stuff drives me crazy. Probably drives you a lot more crazy than me. Stacking of Slater for $2. Thank you. That was asked in bad weight. I mean, dude, don't be bad weight. Come on.
Do they believe in God, or do they say that there's no evidence for
Some
God?
of them probably do believe in God. Yeah, I think that there are.
What do scientists say the best evidence for God is?
I don't know. Does there need to be explicit evidence for God for you to have faith in him?
Well, I don't know. It seems to me that you take the God part and you say that you believe in the scientific consensus part and all these things that you like, but you don't believe in the scientific consensus part on God.
So you're saying that if I believe that there was a God who has created this entire complex world, that I must be wrong because some of the scientists that he created don't know if he's real?
Not some. The overwhelming scientific consensus is that there's no evidence for God.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I'm correct because my objective morality says so.
It's objective.
No, it's subjective. God said so.
Oh, it is objective.
Yeah, mine is. Yeah, my God.
So yes. So can you tell me more about the nature of your God?
It's very similar
I love
to
this,
your God.
dude.
I think so.
What's what?
I love this. If anybody is even just joking or messing around, trolling about believing in God, he goes right for the throat. He goes, okay, cool. Talk about it. Defend it. Woodens Man 9, $10. Thank you so much. Okay. Jim Bob's debunking of evolution is horrible and nonsensical. I've watched a few of those debates. Most people's understanding of things like the Big Bang and evolution are terribly uninformed. Well, he has been debating pretty large content creators. You gave a criticism that it's horrible and nonsensical, which is, I don't expect you to, in your chat, explain in depth as to what the issues are. But this sounds like when somebody is saying that, like, oh, well, no, that's not real communism. Most people don't understand communism as they're advocating for it. Whereas most people's understanding of things like the Big Bang and evolution are terribly uninformed. But he's not really debating random people. I'd be more curious to hear more of a critique of what you think he gets wrong. New GM, $5. Thank you so much. Fine, Artie. I'll go check out Jim Bob's evolution content. I'll probably be in liturgy by the end of March. The Grizzly Elves will not be pleased. Look at that, Jim Bob, okay? He knows I'm an atheist, right? But he's like, there's something about that guy, right? Right? Something there. I can't quite put my finger on it.
But that doesn't answer my question. What's the nature of your God?
He's a good guy. He thinks that as long as people aren't harming each other, that they should be able to engage in particular behaviors. He's not particularly oppressive to gay people, trans people.
Up a rock
he
so
doesn't support the patriarchy, I guess.
I love this. Andrew Wilson starts going into all of the typical atheist arguments. Can your God make a rock so big he can't lift it? I love this next one. Can he make a taco so big that he can't eat it? That's hilarious, dude.
He supports men and women being
equal.
Can
your God make a rock so big he can't lift it?
That's a very interesting question. Can
your
God do that?
God make a taco so big that he can't eat it?
Interesting.
Let me ask you another question. Can your God
I think I could eat it.
Can your God make other gods?
Maybe.
Can you make other gods that are more powerful?
Well, he did though, right? Because God did create the concepts of like Thor and Odin and all these other gods from different religions.
Can he make gods that are more powerful than him?
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Interesting.
That's interesting. I've never considered that before.
Wow.
Personally, I would think that's blasphemous to even consider something like that. But that's an interesting thought experiment.
Can he?
I don't know. I have to think about that. I want to have a more. I want to.
You have to think about it.
Yeah, I don't want to speak without any meaning.
Oh,
it's the first time I'm hearing this. You're a pro at this, so I don't really know.
Can God microwave a burrito so hot that he himself couldn't eat it? Fellas, more of these. This is like making up the fucking racial stereotypes.
I've never heard a lot of these arguments before. It was one of the reasons I appreciate the conversation, because I really have never been in the debate world before. So it's very interesting to see.
Can your God lie?
Maybe. I don't know.
You don't know if your God can lie?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I usually think
how do you know if your God's lying to you or not?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Good.
I don't know. It's really interesting. I'm going to think about that one. I need some time to really let that.
There's a lot. You got a lot to think about this God character that keeps talking.
I do. I never considered if God would lie to me. I never considered if God would create something greater than himself. I just never.
So you
thought
believe
about
in
that.
divine command, but you don't understand the nature of the God you believe in.
Do you have to know if God can lie or not to understand him? Is that what you're saying?
How do you know that what he's telling you is true?
Well, wouldn't he be able to lie to me effectively, regardless? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. It's your God.
Maybe God removed my ability from.
I don't know. It's your God. Just teeth on throat. And this is interesting. Loud Fat, $10. Thank you. If Jim Bob's debunking of evolution is so horrible, why does he destroy every evolutionist he debates? None of them have been able to answer his basic questions. So let's just be a little more specific, okay? I believe the crux of his argument is how species change into other species, and how something without a liver can evolve into something that has a liver, for example. And for the interlocutor to Jim Bob's stance, it would have been good if he could have addressed that argument. Also, Jim Bob does a very good job of applying the scientific method very stringently. And it seems like, people that it really shows that science is a faith, which is why I feel like it's so compelling. It's faith-based with evolution, because you haven't been around long enough to observe it. So, for the person disagreeing, those are the points, shorthand, that I find very compelling.
So smart.
Yeah. So if your God can lie to you, then how do you know that what your God's telling you is not a lie?
Can your God lie to you, or are you going to tell me
What
that?
does it have to do with anything? What does it have to do with anything?
There you go. Do you know if your God can lie to you?
Yes, I do know.
Does he lie to you?
Do you?
Does he lie to you?
No, he can't. No, it's not part of his nature.
Why?
Because God has a revealed nature. Now here,
but what if God's lie was part of his divine plan? Like, what if he lied to you to be able to get you to do something that he wants you to be able to do for his divine plan? Can he?
Asking endless what ifs and being a deconstructionist makes the midwit feel so smart.
Not do that.
Yeah, the problem is that what you've done is you have destroyed any ideal that your epistemology or ontology, your grounding morality itself, isn't a lie, because you conceded that your God can lie. That part of his nature is that he can lie.
Well, maybe he can lie, but wouldn't you trust him to lie productively?
Well, if he can lie, what's your assurance he's not lying to you?
I don't know that, but if I trust in God.
What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us? Just a black guy on a bus stabbing Ukrainian refugees?
I would imagine that lie would
we're
be
getting silly,
what he
fellas.
wants.
We're
You trust in a God that can lie to you?
Yeah, why not? My wife lies to me.
It seems like, well, wait a second. You don't trust that your wife would never lie.
No, I trusted my wife. If she was going to lie to me, lies productively to me. She'll say I have a big hog to make me feel good about myself. Maybe God lies to me about something to make me feel good about myself.
But help me out. Help me out here.
Yeah, I'm not going to show you.
How do you distinguish between the things which he's telling you which are true or a lie?
I wouldn't be able to. That would be his plan, because he's God.
Can Satan lie to you?
Probably, yeah. I don't really.
How do you know it's not Satan talking to you?
I guess I don't. Maybe it is.
I'm sorry. We can't even get a yes on can Satan lie to you. Dude. Whew, you can tell this man has raised children. That level of patience, I don't know how else I would access it.
Is Satan talking to me? Do you know if you're talking to Satan?
How would you know?
That's an interesting question.
Okay. Instead of oh my God, oh my word. Okay. That can work. I don't like gosh. It's still like the same thing. My word. That I like.
Wait, do you have like a way to test?
I understand. Okay, so what you're saying is that your test is if God lies to you, that's Satan. And that's how you know it's God.
You're making all sorts of inferences here that don't even make sense.
Sorry. You said your God can't lie, and now you're trying to ask me. I don't think it makes sense, like what I brought up. You said your God can't lie.
So now, fellas, we have Butcher God in chat saying, God creates nothing but flaws, but demands worship and belief that they are perfect. Sounds like a bullshit liar to me. Now, this person could be trolling. These could be sincere thoughts, right? And you can respond to that person however you'd like.
Basic questions about the God that you claim you get divine inspiration and
Can your God put it in a chicken and make it gay? Oh man, what is this man not capable of?
Speaks to you and told you that gay marriage was okay. Can
I'm
also
starting to
lie
think
to
that you don't believe I believe in God.
I don't know.
Okay, that's what you wanted to say. Okay, fair enough.
No.
I think that
mean,
you
I would've
probably
said
have a
that
much.
too.
I think that you have a
I'm
much
actually asking
stronger
you-
relationship with what you think God is than I do.
I'm asking you specific questions about the nature of your God for a reason.
Yeah. What's the
Do you
reason?
understand?
Well, the reason seems to
Well,
be because you don't believe.
I want to see if the nature of your God is coherent.
Okay.
Like, is your
I
God
like the nature of the God argument.
omniscient and omnipresent? Can he see everything and be everywhere at once?
Why does God need to make sense to you?
Why does logic need to make sense to you?
Well, God's
It's the
not
same
logic; it's a faith thing. Why does He need to make sense to
but
you?
in the Christian view, yes.
See, this is a very common misinterpretation with atheists. They think atheism, science, logic. There's quite a logic. And here's the thing, fellas. This is what I realized. I'm like, why? I am Mr. Atheist Logic Man. Why am I agreeing with people that believe in Sky Daddy? Why are they the ones that are saying the truth and not the atheists? You have to rectify that. There's got to be something there. Now, you know, it's a process, and you have to be able to coexist with these thoughts. And the ortho bros make a very compelling case. I can't think of exactly what how they respond to me in certain situations, but it's very compelling. I can't think of it offhand. Cream Slinger, $10. Thank you. It's interesting to have a conversation that is so interesting, that interesting things can be so interesting, and we could have conversations with those interesting things. What an interesting convo. Fellas, I have held more live viewers than him, and he has a 100,000 subscriber YouTube account. Incredible. Something fishy there. An anomaly, so to speak. Theodore McCarthy, $2. Thank you. Say, oh my logos. It's both God and Word. Oh, okay. Okay, that seems permissible. I kind of like that. Zachary, where are you from? Who that name? Zachary? You messing with me? You a muzzy? How'd you get in here? $5. Thank you. Really shouldn't be berating you. $5. Thank you. I'm getting loopy, fellas. He finds everything so interesting, but for some reason he never wants to talk about it. Well, that's having a conversation about what he finds interesting. You have to have a conversation about
the logos. Logic is part of the nature of God.
Okay. But what if his logic is something that you don't understand because he is an all-powerful being?
His revealed nature is revealed to you because of transcendentals like logic. And those transcendentals are not material.
Okay.
But they're still true. That's part of the revealed nature of God. Your God can lie. Can your God do things which are illogical?
I don't know. Illogical? Maybe. I imagine he would operate with logical.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know how he's doing it. This is interesting. Speaking of interesting, you got Butcher God. Which atheists? The ones like Christopher Hitchens or the New Age ones that only hate Christians but love Islam? Well, that's a fair point. Atheism is not really a coherent ideology. When they try to make it coherent, when they create like secular humanism, it still falls flat on its face. Atheism is meant to be individual. It is not. I don't recommend atheism to anybody. Okay, that is a personal, much like God, and it's a personal decision. However, there's a culture and a community around believing, and not a culture and a community around not believing. So as an atheist, I get to morph it into whatever I want because it's not a cohesive group.
Intent to create the best outcomes.
Is he omniscient and omnipresent?
Maybe.
He's omnipotent?
I guess so. Is your God
omnipotent? I guess so.
And
Okay.
he's omniscient?
All right, dude. Okay.
Sure.
Oh my God. Arden Party. Can God make a point so interesting that Papa God immediately wants to have a conversation about it? This is actually a very fair point. Crumbum. Artie, that's where you're wrong. New atheists are a community and they're gay and cringe. Well, they're progressive, right? It's reformed atheism is how you can think about it.
So then did he know what you were going to do before you did it?
Maybe. I mean, that's a whole conversation about free will. I don't know.
Okay. This is hurting right now. Oh yeah, it's hurting now. Oh yeah, Artie, now it's hurting. It wasn't hurting before. Let me show you what it's like behind the paywall, okay? Let me show you this man starts a stream. This beacon of knowledge over here. So this is how he started off the stream. This is what you won't see. Well, members only right here.
All right, let's see what we got here. See what we got here, fellas.
Now, fellas, he stole my fellas. Artie, so then all religion is tribalism. Sure. Being religious makes you no different than an African then. Tribalism turned up to 11. I've been pretty good faith with you. That's fucking retarded. That is what reductio absurdum. If you want to be baby-brained and as reductive as humanly possible, then sure, being religious makes you no different than an African. You see, it's something like that. If I was debating you and you said that to me, I would react like how I'm reacting right now. You think I'm going to... do you think there's anything to actually unpack there?
All right. Monetization. Put that on. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, shit. Burping.
You pig.
Burping.
Yep. Yeah, it's going on, stream.
What up? What's going on, man? How's everybody doing today? We chilling.
Absolute pig.
Big and chilling, baby.
Stack doing $2. Practicing saying, "Oh my science," like it's reflective. Wasn't that in South Park? In the future, where there's just science, just boring
I was in the
science.
mountain all weekend. I came to see this shocking combo. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm a little nervous. I haven't done like a conversation in a long time. I haven't done it.
Do you like how he talks all this shit and he goes, "I haven't done a conversation in a long time." See, he's not looking to have a debate. He wants to, just like a leftist, just like a moo, talk all of his shit, mischaracterize someone, then go, "Hey, man, I'm just looking to have a good faith conversation."
In a long time. Perfect shirt for the comment. Thank you. I figured I look a little buff today. Oh.
Figures he looks a little buff today.
I feel like I look a little buff today.
There is some eclectic side tit, I would say.
I don't know. Let's see.
Rubbing his belly, burping.
See what happens, dude.
That's exactly what you think.
Am I going to be cordial or confrontational? I'm going to be cordial, dude. I'm not trying to debate.
You're not trying to know anything.
The hell? That was weird. It says sent a message. That's weird. Weird. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. So, do I have a mediator? I'm hoping we don't need one, man. I'm hoping we don't need
Since
one.
I
dude.
started streaming, I'll watch
We don't need one.
other lefty streams, and I understand the low engagement. It is incredible.
Preparing to lay out ground rule.
They really think it's like ode to
I'm just
them.
talking, man.
Because he's
We're
a
not
good
doing, like, an
guy.
official debate or
He
anything.
says the right things.
We'll
And he
see
says
what
white
happens, man. It's a shit
supremacy,
show.
and
you know, certainly I'll learn something today. I'll tell you that much.
I think their entire
I'll
community
learn
is
about
bored.
Andrew
Is
Wilson,
the
so
lefty
that's
community converting more to the center?
man.
Is that what it is?
Is there a docket? No, they got nothing in here. There's nothing going on. I'm just curious. He kind of invited me, so I'm kind of thinking he'll take control of the conversation. Hopefully, it's a conversation. He sent me a message, but it just says sent message. I don't know. It's weird as fuck.
Yeah. Absolute pig. Let's let him get into it.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right. That information. That was an interesting conversation. There was a moment. Yeah, I think that was interesting. I appreciate the conversation. Yeah, it was interesting.
Oh my God, dude.
I will
Say something else,
but
for
yeah,
the love of
very
God.
interesting.
For the love of
You weren't really
word.
trying to have a conversation. You're trying to be
For the love
an
of
If you think that
logos.
that's the case, that's okay. So I'll just have to let that process. I'm miserable because I'm 300 pounds overweight. Well, I'm like 150 pounds overweight.
Got
I'm
him.
let that process. Let the process what kind of a person I talk to. Interesting.
Oh my God.
I got to make sure I figure. Does Andrew put his streams on private? There's one moment where I accidentally muted myself on my end on my stream. I have to figure out, see if I could find that part. Yeah.
He has 5,000 videos on his YouTube channel. Okay. He's been streaming for 3 years. He's not even putting the chats on screen. All of them are lazy. All of them are slothy.
Yeah. I didn't answer a single question. If you think that that's the case, that's fine.
If you think that, yeah.
Looking forward to part 2. I mean, maybe if we were, you know, if you guys do watch it though, on his end, see if you can find the part that I muted myself. You know, it's only 10 seconds. Well, August, when you get to it, throw something in there that makes it like I accidentally muted on my end, and make sure you make it clear that Andrew has it on his end. Just to be clear. Yeah. Okay. I'm giving Andrew way too much credit. I mean, listen, I've seen some of the things that he says before. I got an interesting glimpse into his mind. I'm gonna let it process and see what's kind of, it's interesting. I don't know.
Okay.
So interesting.
I can't.
Reddit theory is cringe. If you think so. Here's what I want to end it with. I want to get the recording off, and then I want to respond to some of the.
He doesn't really have
100,000
subs, dude. That's just fake. That's not real.
I think. Fuck. What was I going to say? I'm a little burnt out. I'm a little bit burnt out. That's a lot more intellectual back and forth than I'm used to. So here's what I think. I think at the end of the day, I like to think I did well enough where none of my audience is going to go to him and go like, oh, I love this guy. But I do think that there are some people that might have listened to that conversation and gone like, okay, even if I don't agree with Papa Gut, I think he was trying to be some authentic, because I was.
And then he says he was trying to be authentic. But does he think he was? Do you think he thinks he was trying to be authentic? Is there any way to know? Because he could be that dumb. He easily could be that dumb. Absolutely incredible.
And you know what? I think that's a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. Either way, yeah, interesting stuff. That word is bad behavior, dude. You can't be saying bad words. You can't be saying bad words. I guess the good thing is that if Andrew, I don't know how well that conversation is going to go for my views. If it does well view-wise, and Andrew thought I was an easy dunk, he'll just be more incentivized to talk to me more, wouldn't he?
Clout chasing.
Let me get this to August. August, are you in here? You let him dog walk your, if you say so. I think that maybe. I don't think so. I don't want to have like a weird performative debate. So I think that I had a conversation the way that I wanted to have a conversation, and I feel good about that. I like the way that I had the conversation, and I think that maybe.
All right, fellas, I'm dialing down. Now, if you know who Andrew Wilson is, you probably also know who Rob Noor is, and I think I know how to rate a stream properly now. I think now this time it's going to direct you to Rob Noor. Now, what I love about the fellas is I don't have to tell you to do anything. You just go over there, you represent, you make a fellow content creator, fighting the good fight, feel supported, and you're just a good reflection of me. We don't have a shitty, toxic community. We laugh, we pal around, we have insightful conversations, and it honestly means a great deal to me that you can bring that to another content creator, and you fellas do it so well. So, fellas, continue hanging out if you want. I'm sending you over. Very good hanging out. Hope you enjoyed. Looks like you enjoyed. Good religious conversations, right? Right? Not bad. I know some of you guys want to have like dedicated like religious conversations. I need a jumping off point. I need a thing to react to, I'm a reactionary through and through. Very true. And this is my own fault. I forgot. This was a very interesting and insightful conversation. Almost forgot. Fellas, represent, hang, have fun. Do not let them bring you down. I get the best, fellas. Have a good night.